It's time. It's time for some burbs. It's Birbday! Yay! Finally Birbday. Happy birthday, everyone! It's so good and exciting. We're here for a Humblewood one shot, and I'm such excited. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm so excited to play with all these cool people and play fun games and be cute animals, because that's the best. Now I'm doing this voice. I'm probably gonna do dumb voice like this the whole time because it's cute. Yeah. So you do cute voices, and oh my gosh, such excite! So hi, I'm Jess. This is my channel. Thanks for being here. And today I am playing Spindle Shadowstash, the Mopok Rogue, and totally not a former bandit member. Why would you think that? Why would you assume they used to be a bandit? That's just profiling. Is it because of my raccoon mask? How dare. But yeah, I am such excited. So I think we have to skip past Jordan because you're not a character today.
Or I'm all the characters, depending on how you look at it.
Well, we'll let you go at the end so you can take us into the story. So we'll go and say hi to Meg. Oh, hi, Meg.
Hi, I'm Meg. My name is Peabody the Pangolin, and I am a ranger. And I have 2 battle axes that match my armor, which is not armor. It's just me. And that's it. I'm very excited.
I'm imagining you with your little pangolin claws doing like this.
Like, all right, guys, what are we doing next? Yeah.
That's so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh. And Dustin!
Oh, hello everyone, I'm Dusty, and I say I'll be playing a Pomadil, the Gallus Knowledge Cleric. I am a Polish chicken. If you look that up right now, I suggest you look it up because I am the cutest chicken y'all ever gonna see. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's what I'm playing. I apologize for what I'm gonna butcher is a southern accent. So, yeehaw! Wait, nope. I don't know. We're rolling with it.
It was good enough for Mel Blanc. It's good enough for you.
I love it. I love that you took it all the way into cowboy chicken. I'm very pleased. And Eris, who's looking so adorable with the nose and whiskers today. Hi.
Hi, I'm Eris Savad, and today I'm playing Squeaks of Chesterfield, and I'm a Gerbine Bard, College of the Road, and I've met a lot of cool people along the way. I've learned a few tricks, and I'm not afraid to use them.
Perfect. Jordan, are you ready? Are you ready for this, Jordan?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I kind of wrote a real dark story of death and murder, so I have to kind of like reel it back a little bit. But it's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll change everything to bunnies or whatever.
Murder bunny.
Yeah, they're still gonna murder everybody, but they're gonna be real cute when they do it. So for those,
gotta be careful of those bunnies.
Yes. There's one particular bad one that I can think of, so just keep an eye out for that guy. For those of you unfamiliar with Humblewood, it's a campaign setting that my work kickstarted earlier this year, and it's now actually starting to become a real thing. It takes place in a mystical world where birds and animals are people now, or always have been. The Humblewood itself is a big forest. In the center of it is the city of Alderheart, this giant ancient tree. But we are taking our story deep into the woods today. You 5 have been sent by the Birdfolk Council of Alderheart. So the Humblewood is in a lot of turmoil these days. Forest fires are consuming a lot of the woods, and strange sightings of strange creatures have been seen everywhere. And whereas before, if a letter had come from a strange ranger outpost in the middle of the woods about a strange sighting, the council would probably ignore it with more important things. But now they take every sighting very seriously, because anything could come out of the woods, literally, and harm the sweet, kindly folk of the Humblewood. So you 5 have been assembled, or 4, pardon me, there is 5 of us, but I am not one of you. The 4 of you have been assembled by the Bird Council and sent out to a little hunter-ranger settlement called Rhea's Watch, named for Rhea, the Amaranthine god of the hunt. And this is like a ranger's outpost. It's like kind of a sort of like an inn-ish thing for hunters that are spending a lot of time out in the woods. Sort of a home base for those types of folks. And we're going to start you guys right as you arrive there. You've spent maybe a few days going into the deep Humblewood, and you find yourself looking up to these 4 massive kind of tree houses, basically. Most birdfolk live up in the trees, and they live in these tree houses that are formed out of the trees themselves. They've learned over the years to have magic that allows them to shape the trees without harming it, and so a lot of the trees themselves don't have things nailed into them or whatever. The trees have just been grown to form it. And in fact, a little tidbit about the shaped plant spell, you have to talk to the tree to convince it to stay in that form if you want a permanent type situation. So basically, every house that's been made out of a tree in the Humblewood, the tree has agreed to take on that, to keep that form. So that's what you're looking up at right now, is these big trees. So there are 4 buildings. One looks like a pretty large, looks like a camp cabin, but much bigger. It's up in a tree. There's a little general store that you can see, and it's called, it has a name on it called Franz Fineries. A little bit of a hoity-toity name for a little store out in the middle of nowhere.
Franz with a Z, or Franz like fern fronds?
Like a fern frond.
Okay.
Yay.
Do you think I don't know you at all? And then there is a more of a hunter's type lodge that has a chimney with smoke coming out of it. There is a porch on the front that has a bunch of rocking chairs, and a few kind of older looking strig owl folk are like out there with pipes, kind of discussing. They seem to be having very like engaged conversations about whatever they've been up to. And lastly, the smallest of the buildings is more of a tower, really. It looks like it's a watch, like a watch outpost, or perhaps a local militia, just to keep an eye on things. You've been seeing a lot more of those since the Humblewood has been a little bit more dangerous lately. So yeah, basically the trees, mushrooms that grow around the base of the tree have formed the staircases that lead up to that lead you up into the trees. So yeah, you're here to try and find out. This is where the letter was sent from, that reporting the strange sightings in the woods of a large swooping creature that blotted out the sun, doing the swoops. So what would you like to do? Where would you want to go first?
I guess we gotta go up and talk to people and see if anybody saw anything.
Once you're up in the trees, the buildings are all connected by little rope bridges. So Ewok style. Every once in a while, you will see like a bird folk jump off the top and kind of glide down into the woods elsewhere. But yeah, I'm going to say that you guys arrived in the evening, so the sun is setting. So you'll probably want to rest here for the night and then take off in the next day. But
were we given a specific person to come speak to, or it was just like, go here?
The letter was signed by just Hamlin the Hunter. So you have a name, Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Little Hamlin. So yeah.
Making our way up the mushrooms, you could hear like, because I'm just trying really hard to like crawl up each one. It's working. So we make our way up.
Yeah, Palm looks a little like disconcerted because like I'm a grounded.
Oh right, okay.
I don't like going up in these trees. I don't.
Oh hey, that's okay, Palm. If we fall, that's fine. I've got feather fall, so we'll fall just light as a feather. You know, like the ones that are on you. Wait,
Well,
why can't
that's
you
fair.
fly?
That's fair, no. But I'm just saying that, you know, I like to keep my feet on the ground with the people that tends to keep their heads out of the trees and all. That doesn't make much sense, but it makes sense to me. You know, I think we should check out that lodge there with the smoke. I'm a bit parched.
Squeaks has
hungry
a point
and-
though, Palm. Don't your feathers don't you fall slower? Or do you just
Oh no, I can glide. It just makes me woozy. I don't like being woozy. I get a little sick in the tummy. Is all I'm saying, and it doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel natural. I know that sounds weird because I'm a bird, but I'm just saying.
No, that's all right if you like.
I'm a very complicated person. Once you get to know me more, you'll understand that I am like a book, in that there are many words inside of me.
I could tell.
Indeed.
And they all seem to want to come out.
All the time. You just can't keep words in. Knowledge out is all my motto. Just put that knowledge out there. Always. Always be speaking. Never be stopping speaking. That's all I'm saying. I think we should check out that lodge there. There might be some hunters in here for the evening. For an evening's respite.
Oh, hey,
I could use it.
that'll be good to get Hamlin the hunter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Squeaks, I like you. I've said that many times along our journey here, but I'll say it again. I like you, Squeaks.
I like you too, Mom. You talk at least as much as I do, and I've never met anybody like that. I did find one person back in the last town. Oh, what was it? I don't remember. Anyways, I found a person there. He talked almost as much as me, but definitely not as much as me. They almost talked about. They didn't talk as much as you either. I don't think I've ever met anybody that talks quite as much as you do. But,
No, I say like we are two verbose citizens of the Humblewood, and I appreciate you and your verbosity.
So you make it to the.
Spindle's going across the bridge now.
So you make your way up to the lodge, and there is like a smoky smell coming in of something delicious that's being cooked over a fire, and the two strigs that are sitting out, they have like gray in their feathers, and one of them has a one of their wings is like just kind of a nub. Looks like an old injury from something they were up to, but he's got very cool kind of hook that is obviously used to pull back the string on the bow, so still able to get out there and hunt. They kind of look at you, definitely don't look like, well I guess Peabody, you are a hunter at heart, but you maybe don't look like what they're expecting from the type of people who are coming up. But they look over to you and they nod, and they go back to their conversation, but a little more hushed. It's got the front doors of this hunter's lodge have the saloon style swing to them.
Nice.
So who's heading in first?
I'll walk in.
I will walk in right after.
All right. As you push the saloon style doors open, you see a fairly quiet scene. There's a couple of tables that look like they would be like longer tables down the middle where people would come and sit and eat. And then around the outside, there's actually 3 fireplaces, and each one has a couple of overstuffed leather chairs at it. Mounted on the walls are the trophies of some of the things that the hunters have brought in. You see the snarling faces of mountain lions and the horned heads of the forest prowlers, which are terrifying, especially to the smaller folks of the Humblewood, such as Peabody and Squeaks. You guys are small sized, so this thing looms large as you walk in.
Squeaks kind of gets a little bit closer to Palm, trailing behind him very closely.
What does everybody look like, just so I can get an idea of you guys?
I am sort of a brown with golden fringed, but like because I'm a Polish chicken, I just have this giant head of feathers. Like you can barely see my eyes, and then just sort of like a golden, kind of armory, not like not rusted, but like not polished or anything like that.
Sure, it's got a. Yeah, I understand.
I don't really take care of it, but I got books. I got books all around my belt.
Behind them, very close behind, you see Squeaks, who is very, very small, golden brown little mouse, your standard mouse with giant ears. And they're dressed in like wood brown and green clothing, so they can blend into the forest a little bit better. They have a rapier on one hip and a couple daggers on the other. They have a loot strapped across their back and a little drum also attached to their belt.
Cute.
Spindle is like fairly slim for a Mawpoc, which I'm going to specify for anyone that doesn't know is a raccoon. For a little raccoon. And they have quite a little like mishmash of like collection of like, they have stuff everywhere. They just have like little tools here and like little pouches there and like some liquids on their hip and some like I think they have sort of a travel cloak mostly covering them, but as it sort of like shifts as they walk, there's definitely like all sorts of things just like shining that you can see sort of like underneath and stuff like that.
And Peabody?
Peabody is a pangolin, so I guess he is a little on the smaller side for a pangolin. Like they're usually like 2.5, 3 feet tall. This one, he's like 1.5 or 2 feet tall, and he likes to collect things, so he has a little bag of holding, and he's kind of like a gray, sort of on the darker side of gray, kind of sort of blends into the environment since he's a ranger. But he's a little skittish, but he knows what he's talking about.
So a debate around the office is whether or not these creatures wear pants.
Ooh.
It's a heated debate. And so does Peabody have pants on, since they can't wear armor so much?
No pants.
Just like a belt?
Just a belt. Just like stuff? Just a belt holding all the little bits and baubles and
Perfect.
A little, yeah.
Perfect. Pants are for suckers.
No pants dance.
Yep. All right. So as you go in, you see that this place it's not full. It's about half a dozen different people, and then there's a person sort of working behind the little bar. It's not really like a full blown meant to be a full blown restaurant. A lot of people seem to be unwrapping their own travel foods. It's just a safe place to sit and stay. And you can see that there is a door out of this room out of this sort of lodge area that leads to, you can see a little bridge that connects to the kind of cabin looking place. And you can see a couple more people sleeping in hammocks that are hanging. If you think like the galley of a ship, like where they had the pirates would sleep in stacked, somehow triple decker hammocks. I don't know if those are a real thing, but Pirates of the Caribbean has them, so that's good enough for me. And everyone kind of looks up. There's a couple of like, and then they all just kind of go back to what they're doing. The people that stick out are really over talkative Luma, which are the pigeon folk. She is hopping from seat to seat, trying to engage everyone, and you can hear her asking like, so what are you after on this hunt? Have you caught it yet? I'm so new to this. I'm just trying to learn everything I can about hunting. Hunting is great. It's what I do. And she's like bouncing around. And then there are 3 humble folk. So we have the bird folk, which are of course all of the bird people. And then the humble folk are everyone who's not a bird, basically. So which most of our party actually are humble folk. So they are a strange trio. There's a Vulpin, a Mawpoc, and a Hedge. Which are Vulpins are foxes, Mawpoc are of course the raccoons, and then a Hedge is a little hedgehog. and they're all sitting around a table. They're playing some kind of dice game that you don't really recognize. Actually, Spindle, you would recognize it as an old bandit dice game that they're playing.
Spindle definitely like starts heading that way.
The Mopok is a really big kind of guy. He's got like a pot belly, and he's just very, very round. The Vulpin is, as you would expect, kind of skinny, kind of sinister looking. Their grins always seem to be too toothy. But and then the hedge is the sweet-faced little hedgehog that you would expect. But he, as you approach, he reaches out his little paws and pulls all of the money that's in the middle of the table towards him. And he says, "That's my hand, boys." And they see you approach Spindle.
Don't mind me. I was just looking. It's fine. I was just seeing how it's going, seeing how.
The hedge squints at you and says, "If you're gonna watch, you may as well play."
I mean, Spindle starts backing away. I have stuff I'm actually supposed to be doing, but like, thanks, but
the Mopok is like, "Oh, come on, just sit down. It's no big deal. They play a hand with us. It's really friendly." Pop here is he's just trying to get you goat.
I don't have a goat.
Well, then you got nothing to worry about. If you ain't got no goat to get got, then you're fine.
Well, okay, I guess so. But also, do any of you know Hammond? I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. Was it Hammond?
Hamlin.
Sorry, I literally Hamlin. I had Hammond. Sorry. So, anyone here know Hamlin? We're here to speak to Hamlin.
The Vulpin has just sort of been listening in the corner, and she says, "That old coot doesn't have two brain cells to rub together anymore."
Would that be advisable to rub brain cells together? Would that damage them?
Gotta remember that one. That was good.
The problem is that he rubbed the two, then he's only got one, is what I'm trying, and you need at least two to make think fire.
Oh, is that what you kids are calling it these days? Think fire? I gotta remember that one.
What I'm saying to you is that he's old and crazy. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's fine.
No one around here wants to talk to Hamlin.
Well,
I would like to talk to Hamlin.
Yeah, we're still here to see him. So
the Vulpin kind of looks around to try and see where that voice is coming from.
Hello.
And then cranes her neck down. Oh, what are you?
What are you?
I'm Snap.
You're a Snap?
No, I'm Snap.
Oh.
That's my name.
I'm Peabody. Nice to meet you. And I stick out my claw.
She puts out her hand and gives it a squeeze. So, are you all together?
Yep.
Yep, we all.
I've never played a 5-player game of this, but we could get a couple extra chairs.
Well, that's why I was trying to excuse myself. I didn't want to be rude. I'm sorry. I came over to see, and I didn't mean to interrupt, and then you all asked me to play, and it was rude not to play, but I really have to get going, I think, maybe, because we have this whole thing we need to do, and so that's why I said, "Do you know Hamlin?"
The Mopok's like, "Yeah, he used to be a real good hunter, but now he just lives out in the woods." Yeah, I don't think he's caught anything in a long time. He's always ranting and raving about monsters.
That seems fine. I mean, if you're hunting things, wouldn't monsters be one of the things you might hunt? So that seems...
Oh no, we're not going after. We're hunting beasts, and some of them are big, I guess, but I ain't scared of them.
Well, that's good.
He talks about, monsters, like spooky stuff, nightmare creatures, from your nightmares.
That doesn't sound great, but
It isn't, but luckily they're not real.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know who sent you out here, but it's for no reason.
Hamlin! I feel like I've said this a few times. Like, Spindle looks back at like Peabody. I said it right. I said.
You did.
Okay,
You did
good.
say Hamlin.
Okay, good. Okay.
The Mawpox says, "Listen, Scrawny, if you're out here for Hamlin, you're wasting your time. That guy doesn't know anything. Do you know how many letters he writes to the Birdfolk Council about monsters? Too many. One a week for the past, 10 years.
Well, maybe if you let us go see him, we could talk to him. Maybe he'll stop writing the letters. Did you ever think of that? Maybe?
I don't care about the letters one way or another. I'm just sorry you wasted your time."
Yeah, seems fine to me. I'm good to be here.
Well, I mean, I've never been out to his cabin. None of us have. But you might want to talk to...
Can you point at it? Can you,
I don't know where it is, lady.
Oh, okay.
Or mister, I don't know what to tell you.
Meanwhile, Squeaks was actually going to go to the bartender and see if they knew where
Sure.
we could find Hamlin.
The bartender is another Luma, but this was a dove kind of Luma, and they're running up and down the bar, they're actually standing on the bar because they're kind of small too. And basically, it's very simple dried meat and simple mixed fruit type things for those vegetarian, those non-meat eating Humblewood denizens. But she's kind of scuttling along on the counter, making sure that the couple people who are sitting there have their drinks filled and that kind of stuff. And she goes, "What can I get for you, darling?"
Oh, I was just wondering, do you have any lavender or dandelion tea?
We got both.
Ooh, dandelion, please. And do you happen to know where Hamlin, the retired hunter, is? Could be found?
Oh, darling, I know of Hamlin, but I have never been out to his cabin. I think you might want to talk to Frond.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Frond and him used to be friends from way back. Yes,
You used to be friends with Frond.
Yeah, she runs the store around here.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's a dandelion tea, is it? Dandelion
Yeah, can I take it to go?
well,
I feel like we need to go to the store.
I require you to bring the cup back when you were finished.
Oh, I can do that.
We don't have any to-go cups.
That's fine.
All right. And she gets to work at making your tea.
Then I will go back to... Spindle is apparently having a hard time getting to the bottom of this and kind of pull on their sleeve and say,
Hey, I know who we can talk to. Let's go. I'm getting some dandelion tea, and then we'll go.
Ah, okay. Spindle turns back around to everyone. It was not useful talking to you, but thanks anyway. Let's go.
Remember, if you need anything hunted, you could just ask for Snap, and he points at the Vulpin, and then he points at himself and says cackle, and then he points at the Mawpox and says pop, or the head. Pardon me.
I knew that was coming. I put all that together.
It's not crackle though; it's cackle.
No, I know.
It's legally
I was going
distinct.
to ask about that.
It's legally distinct. Snap, cackle, and pop.
Perfect. Your names go real good together. Thanks.
Just coincidence, really.
You can make it into a tagline.
Yeah. You could
People say that to us all the time, but I don't get it. That's cackle. All right.
So we're going over to the store?
So after...
I have been, while you guys have all been doing this, I have been chatting up the chatty Luma.
Yeah, so she just leans in real close and says, "Have you hunted stuff before?"
Oh my dear, what do you mean by hunted stuff?
Well, I mean, I think
I have hunted knowledge. I have hunted hunger. I have hunted more knowledge. I have hunted. I've hunted many types of things in many types of ways.
She swings her pigeon head down to a little bowl of nuts and pecks one out, and then looks back at you and says, "Is knowledge hard to hunt?"
It depends on where you can find it, but yes, sometimes the most important knowledge is very hard to hunt.
So, in this metaphor where knowledge is something you have to hunt.
What's a metaphor? No, I said the punchline too soon. I'm sorry. Please continue.
She looks at you with a dead-eyed, lost stare for like a good 30 seconds.
You can't see my eyes because they're covered in my giant palm of a head.
And she says, in this story where knowledge is something that you hunt, what's the bow?
Well, the bow is my brains, darling. Or my feet. Or my critical thinking skills.
You have a lot of weapons in your toolkit.
We all have a lot of weapons in our toolkit. It's right here. In our skull kits.
Well, sorry, I didn't get your name.
Oh, my name's Pompadour. It's a pleasure to meet you.
She puts out her hand and introduces herself as a person, Drella. I'm Drella. I'm kind of a hunting enthusiast, I guess. I'm starting to try to learn more.
I'm an enthusiast of enthusiastic hunters.
So, knowledge hunting is that a lucrative business?
Well, see, this again is a matter of perspective. I find it quite lucrative in my heart to know things. And then I share that, excuse me, I am quite parched. This voice is very hard to maintain. I have lost my train of thought. Do you know where Hamlin the Hunter is?
She kind of lost interest in what you were talking about when you said that the lucrativeness was in your heart. And then when you ask about Hamlin, she's like, "No, I'm new around here. I haven't met anybody. Sorry."
Oh, that's okay. I shall hunt for this knowledge on his location.
She hops out of the chair and starts heading towards another chair and cranes her head back and she says, "Good luck with that."
It has been a pleasure talking with you.
Yep. And she's often back into like sprightly conversation with a couple of raptors that don't want to have her around.
She did not seem as loquacious as I thought she might be. That is a displeasure. Anyway, we have they are walking out the door.
We have a few more hours of this, Dusty. You know that, right?
Oh, yes, I know.
All right.
I love this so much. Never stop, please.
Yeah.
Are you aware that we have a few more hours of this? You invited me to this game.
Go in here with me.
I follow my friends out the door.
All right. So you're heading out. You want to head out to the general store to
yeah, I see them leaving.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that's unfortunate.
Frond is a Mistral raptor. Raptors are smallish. They are your hawks and your eagles and that kind of thing. She bears a resemblance to a what are the ones with the really hooked beaks?
Oh, I know but the word has escaped me.
Anyway, very hooked beak eagle or raptor type, and she is leaning up against as you go in. This place is like Fineries is kind of a highfalutin name for this place. It's really more like adventuring supplies and rope and extra bundles of arrows and that kind of stuff. But she dresses like the finest kind of look like the finest kind of shop that you would find in Alderheart. Osprey, that's the one, Jess. Thank you. She's definitely not a vulture. Yeah, she's an osprey. And she just looks bored. She looks like she belongs. She looks like she belongs in downtown Alderheart, and she's sitting here with selling like rope to people that probably already have too much. So. She looks up and says, "Oh, just take a look around. If there's any questions, no one ever has any questions." She goes
Actually,
back.
I have a question. I have several questions. First of
Oh.
all, what's your name? Are you Frond? We came to see Frond.
Yes, I'm Miss Frond. I run Frond's Fineries. Everybody has to start somewhere, right?
Yes, thank you very much. I was wondering if you knew where we could find Hamlin the Hunter, former hunter. He used to be a hunter. He's not a hunter anymore. People say he's crazy now because he sees monsters and stuff like that, but that's why we're here.
You seem to already have gotten a lot of answers from the locals already. I think you should have come to me first, though. Hamlin is an old friend of mine. He may have a few screws loose now, but he was once a great hunter in his time. He lives out in the deep woods, deeper even than this than Rhea's watch.
Oh,
why are you looking for Hamlin?
well, he kind of he summoned us, sort of.
He summoned you. Wait, one of the letters got to somebody?
Yeah.
Are you not sure how you found your way here? Are you lost?
Well, yes, I have the letter right here. Sorry, I have arrived.
Well, I don't have to see your credentials, of course, but I mean, that is Hamlin's handwriting.
I guess I feel kind of foolish because everybody said that he's crazy since we got here, and so I'm feeling kind of foolish that we came here on this letter. But adventure.
That's a good attitude to take, there, young Jabin. I think that if you just enjoy the journey, then who cares what you do when you get there. But yes. If you are indeed looking for Hamlin, he was here a few days ago, ranting and raving about something that he said flew over his perch, but something he was calling the Loper.
Well, that sounds ominous.
I guess. I mean, he appears to be making up names all the time. At Hamlin.
That's what the letter was about, wasn't it? Right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the letter doesn't mention any monsters or creatures specifically, but
I thought you said it said that there was like a big shadow.
It says it's a big shadow swooping above, but it didn't have a name. It didn't have a name.
Okay.
Now you have a name, the Loper.
Okay. The Loper.
Would I have heard of Hamlin since I'm a hunter and he's like sort of well known?
Maybe. Yeah, give me a history check.
Ooh. 19.
Nice. Hamlin the Hunter is sort of a his name is spoken in the same sentence as some great triumphs as many like ridiculous kind of failures. He's had like the most up and down career of all time, and that has made him famous. He was known in his heyday for single-handedly taking down some of the Humblewood's largest beasts, but now he's considered a crackpot out in the woods, and very much into the cryptozoological angle of things out in the Humblewood. Things that have never been seen by anybody except for him. So maybe you've heard like a little bit of stories, and mostly what you've heard is that he's lost it. So.
And that he's just in the woods. I wouldn't know like a direction or anything like that. I would just know he's out there. Okay.
Yeah, he has a cabin somewhere out where he hangs out with his trophies and his madness.
Cool.
Yeah. We get the local militia to check on him every once in a while. One of them might be able to act as a guide. If you really, or you could wait here for a few days, and I'm sure he'll come back around with a new story.
No, it seems like we should go out and visit him, and if he saw the stuff in where he was, then we should go out to where that is. And also, you said he has some screws loose, and Spindle takes out some tools. I can fix that too. So it seems like we should definitely go.
Why, yes, my young Mopok friend is correct. I think paying him a visit would be the polite way to go. Plus, perspective is a lot like this here walnut, and I pull a walnut out. While on the outside, it is hard to conceive of what is inside. But, and I go, I crack it open. But to every story, there is a grain of truth. Like this walnut looks like a brain. Did you know that a walnut looks like a brain? It is very good for your brains as well. So he might not be as crazy as you say, and we could probably fix his nut, as it were. And then I just eat the nut.
But wait, Palm, does that mean that anything that looks like a brain is good for your brain?
I do believe yes.
Okay, good to know. I gotta remember that next time I see shrunken berries.
There is no way this could go wrong.
Frond is just cocking her head back and forth at all of you. I think that you all and Hamlin will get along just fine. Just fine.
Yes, I think we will get along airily. Which is a joke in which I take swimmingly as a common phrase and turn it into a bird perspective.
Oh, well, I get it now that you've explained it. And it is funny.
You don't need to worry about that. Palm will always explain everything to you.
I see.
Explanation has a long history in discourse. And I am happy to provide you with the history of explanation, if you should ever require.
Palm-splaining. Well, as I suggest, maybe talk to the militia. They can maybe provide you with a guide. Obviously, if you need any supplies, I can help you out. Perhaps any of the hunters might be able to help you find their way out there. I know that occasionally they go and pester him.
Well, they all said to come to you.
Well, I've known him the longest, I guess. But, yes, I've never been out to his cabin. He only ever comes to see me.
Do you have it marked on a map somewhere?
No, he prefers his privacy. I can say that at least one of the militia will be able to guide you out there. You'll just have to keep them safe. Our militia, the people they send out to help keep an eye on things they tend to be pretty green.
Are they sick?
They're new growth. They're young. They're young. They're little and young. They're young. They're not good. They're new to the job. They're new.
That's not a very good idea to send someone that's very new to do something kind of dangerous.
True. But not a lot of danger happens out here.
Except apparently monsters.
Well.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Allegedly.
Squeaks walks out with her teacup.
I like that you're just walking from building to building, just
like a little teacup.
Yeah.
Where are the militia?
So they are at the very end of this kind of, there's kind of a curved area with the three buildings. You'll have to pass through the sleeping area, and then on the other side there's a tower that goes fair height above the tree line. And it looks basically like a wooden tower, and on the top you can see a couple of birdfolk heads poking over. They're holding spears.
I'm sorry, I apologize. If I recall, it is late at night.
It is.
Should we retire for the evening and then perhaps approach the militia in the morning when we are rested? Or should we just venture on into the heart of the woods in the dark? Because that is also a great story.
Oh, I love a good story. We could adventure off into the woods or at least start, and then we could camp in the woods.
Oh, I do like a little bit of roughing it.
I do love a good campfire.
I also got a hut.
I do like a good hut.
I could go either way. Whatever you want to do. The hammocks look nice. A campfire sounds nice.
Let us inquire with the militia to see if perhaps they're even willing to help us on such a late dusky evening, such as this one.
I suppose that's a good idea.
They may want to set out in the morning instead.
Yes, there may
Probably
be more of a
easier to
morning person. You never know. Some folks like the evening. Some folks like the morning.
Oh, that's right. If we have to ask one of them to come with us, we should see what they want to do. That's a good point, Peabody. That's real smart. I'm glad you're here to...
I mean, you can just try and drag one of them out into the night, but
That sounds like not a good plan.
it tends to look a little bad.
Yeah.
It tends to look a little bad.
We just like drag them, if we grab them by their feet and just drag them outside, I feel like the other ones are gonna come beat us up.
They are a militia.
Yeah.
Is there anybody specific that we should ask for?
Who are you? Are you asking someone that?
I'm asking,
Frond?
Frond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frond.
Well, Bernice is in charge. She's sort of militia captain. She's a proud-looking Gallus. She's hard to miss. And she'll be able to assign you one of her recruits, I think.
All right.
Start with ask for Bernice. I mean, they're all kind of jammed in there. It's not going to be hard to find.
And it's late, right?
Oh, but I mean, the sun is only set. The watch is an all night kind of thing.
All right. Shall we go ask for Bernice?
Yes, I think we shall.
All right, you make your way up to this tower, and it looks a little bit like a water tower type thing. The tower actually doesn't start until maybe 10 feet up the trees, and then there's a small wooden tower with a flat parapet or whatever you call it at the top, and you can see a couple of bird folk standing up there, and there's a wooden doorway formed into the thing, but it's closed.
Well, we should probably knock on it then.
Oh. All three of you knock in time. Yeah.
Knock. I like to proclaim my knocks out loud. So as I knock, I also say, a knock. I say, please open the door.
Coming. And as you hear this voice, the door swings open, and this very kind of soccer mom looking Gallus is there. Is like, new recruits.
Oh, no, just looking for help.
Looking for help, that's what we're here for.
Yes, exactly, that's why we're here. We were looking for Hamlin the Hunter, and we were told that one of your recruits could possibly help us find his house.
Oh, you want the recruits to escort you in the woods?
Someone, yeah. It doesn't have to be a recruit. It could be one of your more experienced people.
Experienced people? Yes. Well,
you have those, right?
Well, they have had experiences.
Maybe if you sent the experienced people out, your recruits would get enough experience that you'd have more experienced people.
Well, Fiona tried hot peppers earlier today, and she said she liked them.
Oh, I have had hot peppers. They are an experience, I tell you.
I mean, she was like, she had tears coming down her face for the next couple of minutes, but I have this feeling that that's not what you're expecting.
Do you have anyone who has been stabbed, perhaps, and lived?
Oh, Amaranthi, no. No one has been stabbed. I wouldn't let them get stabbed. Are you crazy?
Have they done any stabbing themselves?
Oh, no. How dare you suggest that anything like that?
Dearest madam, no, please. Oh, dear, no, I do. Damn it. Now I do not mean to offend, but I am just perhaps you misunderstand the word of militia. That denotes some sort of militarized protection. Have you not had any battles, perhaps? Or this accent is going everywhere.
Battles? No. I can't imagine why you would think I would put my sweet boys into danger.
But what about protecting Rhea's watch?
Well, if there's danger, we let the hunters know and they handle it.
Oh, so the hunters are the militia.
Well, no, we're the militia.
My good woman.
It totally makes sense. Where can we find the hunter?
Well, it is our job to go and see them. We only do it during the daylight. Hamelin is considered apparently worth our time. So every 3 or 4 days we go and check in on him. We go as a group. And only in the daylight.
It's sort of a day trip, as it were, I say.
Where
Can we go tomorrow?
Well, no, I suppose I could send Lenny with you.
Oh, Lenny, that sounds like a great name.
What a stout and stalwart name that Lenny is.
He has the least experience, but hear me out.
Oh boy. Look.
He is sharp as a tack. And he needs the experience. You see? So you want your militia to be better? Then you need to let maybe he can come along. He knows how to get there. I'd invite you in. I realize we're talking on the rope bridge here, but there's no room.
Thanks, Lenny.
Okay, well I'll see if he's interested.
Tell him there's some experience in it for him.
400 experience points. So she's big. The doorway is not like quite big enough for her, and she kind of like squeezes back in, and you can hear as she goes up to the top of the tower. Lenny! Oh, Lenny! And you can hear two sets of footsteps, little ones and hers coming down. And Lenny is a very small Luma, little pigeon boy, and she kind of gently pushes him out the door and says, "These fine folks need an escort." Speak up, Lenny.
Well, I'm sorry. Did you just give us a child?
And Lenny's like, "I'm just small. I ain't no kid."
I'm sorry to have prematurely judged you on your stature.
Hey, I'm small too, but you never asked me how old I was.
Yeah, you never asked her. At least that's what she said.
Now, my good friend Squeaks has the eloquence of someone who has traveled the roads very far. I am sorry. I have only met you just now.
I'm 18 years old, and I would like to turn down your offer. Thank you. And he turns around. And he bumps into
No, wait, Letty.
Bernice.
Letty, no, don't go. Ooh.
He can't get anywhere because Bernice is just standing in the door like this. Now, Letty, experience. He says, "Look, I ain't a kid, but I ain't big, and the last thing I want to do is end up in a forest prowler's mouth."
Hey, I'm not big either, and I'm okay so far. I travel around everywhere. You just gotta be smart and careful.
Have you ever seen a forest prowler before?
Yeah, totally.
Have you actually seen one?
Sure.
Okay. Well, then you got lucky that time.
My life is lived on luck, but it's fine. We're okay.
Why do you want to go see that old coot anyway? Every time we go out there, he just throws old chicken bones at us. Or sorry, old.
How morbid!
he throws old food at us. Tells us to run away. So we're just there to make fun of him.
Well, I assure you, we are not here to make fun of him.
Yeah, and once he knows that, he'll probably welcome us in with open arms or wings.
With appendages wide open.
They got both.
Yes,
they got arms and wings.
They
Okay,
got
perfect.
wing arms.
Old Gallus bones. Yeah. Yeah, he's a monster. So Well, fine. I'll go with you. But I don't do any fighting. I get a share of any loot you find. And...
Wait, no! And Spindle was, like, sticking way to the back before. Spindle comes, like, out of the shadows and is like, no, hang on. Wait, what?
If you agree to a party by arbitration, I'm sure that we can work something out, Lenny.
As much as Miss Bernice would think that it's useful, I'm not interested in working for experience.
It doesn't look like you have much of a choice.
Well, I mean, I could just not go.
Were you planning on quitting the militia? Because this seems like something you're required to do anyway, visiting this person every once in a while. The only difference is we're also walking in that direction now.
At least it's safer now.
Yeah, you're less likely to be eaten by a forest prowler. You're welcome. You want to pay us?
Fine.
Good, that will be 5 gold, please.
Wait, what?
By entering into agreement with the party of the full, you
I will see you in the morning, okay? Just meet me outside of the hunting lodge, and we'll get this over with, all right?
But how do we know we'll actually be there? Give me something of yours.
What? No! And Bernice is like, oh, he'll be there.
Thanks, Bernice.
If he had ears, I would pull him by them and drag him there myself. But he's a bird, so he doesn't have ears.
Bernice, you are a
Birds do
lovely
have
lady.
ears. They're just hidden by feathers.
I know but I mean more than... If you had the ones that you could... You know what I mean.
It's fine.
She squeezes just out of the way so that she can drag Lenny back into the tower and push him up the stairs. He'll be there. Thank you for working with the militia.
See you tomorrow, Letty.
Yeah.
adventure.
Ah!
So there is no cost to sleeping here. It's kind of like a free place, but you will have to sleep in the bunks, or you could go to the base and set up camp if you like. But yeah, it's getting kind of late, and there's a lot of strange howls and growls that come out of the deep woods at night.
Oh well, okay, fine. Let's just stay up here. That way we don't have to go up and down all the mushrooms again.
Okay. The bunks, you find 4 bunks that are most of them are too big. They're all sized for the more like the strigs. So, you know, Peabody and Squeak, you could probably share one if you really wanted to. But yep, sleep comes easy from everybody. But passive perceptions.
I curl up in a little pangolin ball when I sleep.
Oh.
So I'm like a little pangolin.
That's so cute.
Do you roll back and forth a little bit in the
Yeah, it's like I just kind of like settle in there and go. "Brrr," and
Cute.
Adorable. Oh, no.
Squeaks, though, you are awoken by a creaking floorboard after maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And you notice a small, shadowy shape moving through the sleeping area, and they're digging through Hunter's bags. But as you follow their eyes, they stop at Palm, kind of look at their face, and then just shake their head and keep moving. Going to another bag, looking through, looking at stuff and like throwing it behind them.
From where I'm sitting, I cast suggestion on them.
Sure.
And I say,
Why don't you go to that window and count every leaf on that tree?
So what do you need from me is a wisdom save?
yes.
All right. Let me flip through my Humblewood book to find appropriate stat block.
By the way, for flavor of this scene, you just hear a I'll say.
Very nice.
I'll say. Yes.
I love it. Peabody has the.
I would imagine a 9 does not succeed on the
No,
saving
it
throw.
does
Okay.
not. So the figure.
Yeah, she wanders over into the moonlight of the window and kind of like rests her hands on it and says, "This is a good idea." And you recognize that it's the Luma that had been going around asking everyone about their hunting. And she's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
I will quickly
5,
start waking up my companions
6,
and
7.
essentially let them know that I found her going through everybody's stuff and what she did, and say, yeah, and so I just made her count all the leaves on that tree until we could figure out what to do.
13, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Well, there are a lot of leaves on the tree. She will be there for a while.
Yeah, probably about 8 hours until she runs out of time.
I see. Perhaps I shall retrieve the militia.
Hang on. Let's see if she actually took anything. Can I
If you guys are having a conversation, the other hunters start to wake up and one of
Oh
them
yeah, I
screams.
don't whisper,
No,
by the way.
Oh God.
I am incapable of whispering.
Fair enough. Well, I wanted to
I don't
frisk.
understand the word, nor do I see the point.
Can I walk over to? I'm sorry. Oh God, what was their name?
Strella.
Can I walk over and see?
Or Drella, pardon me. I don't even know her name. Drella.
Drella, and look and see if she's taken anything, like what's on her person, like what she was taking.
It's hard to see exactly what's in them, but she's got a couple of leather pouches that are pretty loaded down.
Can I sleight of hand?
51,
or can I?
53, 56. Yep.
Do I
There's
have
stuff
some?
in her pouches. I think we should look what she was taking.
I just want everyone to know I'm not actually a thief. That is a misunderstanding. But I'm gonna look in these bags now, and I'm not gonna take any of it.
I believe she seems to be the thief.
Yes.
You are just
Oh yeah, she was definitely going through everybody's stuff. She was just tossing stuff and.
Oh, I do hope she has
Might
not
have
gone
taken
through
a
my
couple things.
stuff.
No, actually, she went by. She looked at your stuff and shook her head and kept walking. I don't know what happened, but maybe you were nice to her or something, and she didn't want to do that to you.
No, I do not think she
Or maybe-
wants richness of the heart. She seemed quite disappointed that I do not make money.
Oh well, that's probably why you have nothing she wants at all.
Yes, it seems to make sense.
There is a kind of groggy voice coming from one of the bunks that says, "Is there somewhere else you can have this conversation?"
Well, no, I say, do you guys like being thieved from? Because you have been thieved
No,
from.
Spindle is gonna put a little tiny raccoon hand over, and I have fingers because even in animal form.
The voice says, "Friend, you underestimate how much I like to sleep."
Fair enough.
We understand. We're very sorry. And I just start patting her. I want to know what she or they took.
Yeah. So there's coins. There's a few coins. There's a few what feel like maybe like gems or things that have been found, crystals and stuff that have been found out in the woods. There's some food like mushrooms and things that have been, you can feel that are kind of squishy and porous in the bag. It's a mix of stuff. These people don't do things for money. They have a handful. Every once in a while, they maybe come across a good specimen that they can sell, or they get a commission or whatever to hunt a specific thing, but they don't have a ton of money. This person, this Luma, is obviously desperate in some way or another.
Is any of it ours?
No.
Oh.
Perhaps we should take it someplace else where we can talk to her away from.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, they didn't actually seem very concerned that somebody might have been taking their stuff, so maybe we should just leave it.
I personally prefer not to get the militias involved in things, although this militia I feel better about because they don't seem much like a very organized armed law enforcement sort of group, as much as a group of a nursery, perhaps, or
Hey, they had arms.
That's true, they had arms. An armed nursery.
Yes.
That sounds terrifying.
I guess so, but that's not where all my bad experiences come from, so I'm okay if we just take her outside and have a chat with her. What do
The voice from further in is like, yeah, take her outside and talk to her there. Good idea. And another voice says, yeah, good idea.
Very well. We can take a hint. I hope you all have a pleasant rest of your sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hope nobody takes her stuff.
I hope they
And
do.
then I will, I will drop my concentration and let her let the spell end.
Wait, can we have better control of her first, or do you think we're gonna be able to
Sure.
just chat her out of it?
I
Whatever.
think technically she isn't like mesmerized into doing the thing. Like, if you go to actually take stuff from her, she'll react to that. I think
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much like
she'll keep doing it if she's unbothered. But
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I
Yeah,
could
so-
put a hand on her shoulder.
Yeah, I guess
or
let's just
bird-
invite her kindly outside.
Guide her out.
Let's
Yeah.
have a chat outside.
I'll have a better view of the leaves from up there.
That is true. You may count to your heart's content.
I feel like I will be doing that for a long time. For some reason.
At least
Yeah, like
8
for the
hours.
longest time.
Yeah, for too long, probably. Huh. You know,
It's
you're
like
not
an
so bad
Kind
there.
of thing.
You're not so bad, Gallus.
Well, I have a name, Luma.
Well, are you gonna help me count the leaves?
Sure. After you explain why you are taking things that do not belong to you.
She looks taken aback and says, I wasn't taking things. I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps you would like to look me in the eye and tell me what you were doing here.
I was lost. I was looking. I misplaced my bag, and I was looking for my bag. And it's so dark in there, and I couldn't see what bag was which bag. And I really thought maybe that maybe I just didn't mix it up, or someone picked it up by accident. So I was just checking everyone's bags to make sure they weren't.
I would like to. All of a sudden, my eyes appear from behind my feathers, and I am using my channel divinity to read thoughts, in which I may cast suggestion again upon the person
Okay.
without spending a spell slot. And I forgot what suggestion you can actually ask them to do.
It's like a sentence, you know. There isn't a list.
Okay.
It has to be within reason, and you can't make them jump off of something and hurt themselves.
Tell us your true intentions of being here in Rhea's watch. As I look at her intently.
Are you holding your floofs out of the way? Are you holding your floofy feathers and just like staring
You have to,
straight
like,
on with your little
magically-
chicken
My
beady
channel
eyes?
divinity is I take out a pair of like reading glasses and, I put them on, and it pushes all the feathers out of the way and magnifies my eyes.
Yeah.
And I look like, now child, do me a large favor and tell me exactly what you are intending here in Rhea's watch.
Do you do this?
Yeah, and then I do there.
Right. Yeah.
Put them on just to take them down and like.
Just to do the questioning librarian look.
I am invoking the powers of my.
She says, I'm taking all this idiot stuff for myself.
Well, there we have.
That's what I thought.
Well, I'll put it back and I'll go away.
I don't believe you at all.
But why?
she's trying to crane her neck to look out the window as well to keep counting. But she's really distracted. I think I was on 70, 73.
Well, you'll just have to restart over. It's fine. It's fine.
Please, no.
We'll get outside and you can start from the top. Right now.
She starts to undo the bags and just drops them on, spilling them on the floor or like on the bridge between the two buildings. And she just goes back to counting. 74, 75, do whatever you want with it. I'm sorry, whatever. 76, 77, I'll never do it again, blah, blah, blah. 78, 79.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I guess it's yours now. Looking at Spindle.
It's just like a bag of stuff?
Yeah, it's mostly like silver and copper pieces and a couple of gold pieces. There are a couple of gems, not very big, raw, kind of uncut crystals, and then like bread wrapped in leaves and mushrooms and stuff. A couple of like dried strips of meat. Like they don't have a lot of stuff.
Spindle is holding this like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's not mine, but it's also not hers. So it's like, what do
She
I...
gave it to you. Therefore, it's yours, right?
She did. This is true. She gave it to me, and we can have it. But also, I mean, I feel like she needs at least this, and like, tries to put the food back towards the bird lady. Like, here, you can keep that, and then
She
I guess...
reaches down to grab it. 101, 103, 104. She takes a bite out of a mushroom. 106, 107.
I lean over to Peabody and I say,
She's skipping numbers.
I noticed that.
Wait till I tell her she's skipping numbers. Excuse me. You skipped that leaf.
I just started
And that one?
rattling off numbers like 42, 87, 21, like in her ear. Just to make
Humble
her
bullies. Humble bullies all of them.
I'm a bard. What do you want?
12, 24.
Drella looks over to you and she says, I'm taking an average. And she goes back.
oh boy.
God.
So she'll do this for 8 hours, I guess. She'll sleep probably, but
Yeah, do we just want to go back to... Yeah, we should probably just go back to bed.
Perhaps we should put that on the
Here,
with a note.
I have an idea. And then Spindle, like, goes in and walks up to each, like, bunk and just puts a random pile of, like, stuff down at each, like, like, here's some for you, and some for you, and some for you, and then some of this is for us. And then, like, keeps a little bit of it. It's like finder's fee. It was given to us. It was a gift, you know? We're just...
That's fair. We provided a service, and for that service, one should be compensated. Now, I don't know about you all, but I think I'm going to go back to sleep.
I think it's bedtime.
That was very fair of you, Spindle. That was a good idea, but I do need some rest.
Yes, let's all go back to bed.
Yes.
as you go in, there's a voice. Oh, it's the chatty Cathy's.
Not,
My
not,
name's not Kathy.
Pombadil. I'd like you to remember that.
Go to sleep and shut up. Please.
Hunters are cranky.
Sub.
Well, not you, Peabody.
Okay.
I'm just saying that these hunters in particular are cranky.
That's true. Yeah.
The rest of the night goes uneventfully. You do hear quiet counting as you fall asleep. It's kind of counting the sheep for you as Drella leans against the rope bridge, the side of the rope bridge. Morning comes and you find her sleeping out there as you're all getting ready to do whatever you're going to do with your day.
I will pick her up and put her in a hammock.
Okay, done.
I do not want anyone to step on her while she's out here on a pedestrian walkway.
That is the official term, yeah.
That is a hazard. on this heavily trafficked rope bridge.
So what's up next?
We gotta go find Lenny.
Yeah, is Lenny waiting for our arrival?
Yeah, you get out there about 8 a.m. and Lenny is there. He has a backpack that's like twice as big as him. It's got a big bedroll on the top. He looks like a Boy Scout, right down to the like a little neckerchief around his neck.
Like the kid from Up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
But he's not a kid.
Lenny, I have. Yeah, that's true. He is a young adult.
Uh-huh.
I have brought you some breakfast in the form of walnuts. There's a surprise inside every time.
Is the surprise the walnut?
Indeed, but it is also the knowledge that walnuts are good for your brain.
That's like written on a note inside of it?
I do not know how I would have gotten it inside the walnut, but that is a good idea to put messages inside things.
Well, you're welcome. That's a freebie from me to you.
Perhaps I shall endeavor to partake in this.
Freebie.
Yes.
You should always free the bees. They don't like being kept up.
No.
The bees
Anyway,
are vital to the ecology.
we're burning daylight, and I don't want to be out here too long.
You are also grumpy. Are you not a morning person, Lenny? Let us walk and talk about the joys of the morning.
Everybody in this town seems to be really, really grumpy.
Well, you see, like, they're used to just the silence of the woods, and then you four come in and you're banging on doors in the middle of the night and asking questions out of everybody. It's just more noise than they're used to. You know, when you're a hunter, you spend a lot of times just out in the woods, just by yourself.
I mean, that is true, but also, it doesn't hurt to be nice every once in a while.
I think it would actually hurt some of them to be nice.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They're just... I'm grouchy because I don't want to do this. They're grouchy just because a lot of them are tired and old. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. Now let's go.
He's drinking from this like ceramic thermos that he has like a cork plug in the top, and it's got like coffee wafting smells coming out of it.
Oh my, that does smell good. I hope you brought enough for the entire class.
He
That is a little
Dandelion.
joke.
he looks into it and he says, "No." And he puts the cork back into it. What, I gotta provide you with the supplies?
Oh no, I just did not think to acquire coffee at this.
I guess you gotta eat some more walnuts, Pom.
Oh yes, that is a good one. You have done a callback. That is a classic humor. I have a book on it.
Good. Nothing funnier than jokes you read out of books. Let's just go. I mean, I'm excited. Experience. And he moves ahead. He takes another swig out of his coffee and starts hopping down to the forest floor. It's 8:30. Do you want to take a little break now? It might make sense to do a little break now, or
If you want.
I don't know if this is halfway. What we're considering halfway since we started a little late.
You know what is halfway, and we do not. So if
I
you
meant
think
more
this
halfway
is
time-wise.
you think this is halfway, then we can do it right now.
I think this is a good time to take a little break.
Perfect. Then we're taking a break. Thanks everyone. for
Mr.
hanging out.
Palmdale is parched. He needs more water. I'm
Oh,
sure.
I do need more aqua, as the colloquial terms in some other.
Aqua vitae. Yeah.
He needs to rehydrate. So.
Peabody's like roll bouncing down the mushrooms.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
So cute.
I don't feel like using my legs right now, but I'll meet you guys down there.
Does he sometimes
Oh, I
like, pop out and his legs bounce and he rolls again, and sometimes legs,
Yeah.
sometimes rails? Yeah. Cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
Adorable.
Adorable. Okay, we will see you back here in a few minutes. Thanks everyone for hanging out. See you, bye. Go. Gasp. We're back. With more Humblewood. As we head into the woods, I think.
Into the woods and hopefully out of the woods.
Hopefully. Maybe we'll just stay there.
So where we left off, you had just ascended the mushroom stairs down around the tree to the forest floor, where your less than enthusiastic guide, Lenny the Luma, has basically sassed all of you in various different ways and is now marching along, chugging coffee at a pace that his small body should not be able to maintain.
The power of caffeine.
So what you got to know about the woods is that everything here, even the cute stuff, is trying to kill you.
I feel like that's not entirely true.
I'm cute. I'm not trying to kill you.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm saying, like, the things that live here. Anyway, I warned you, so...
Only half listening because he kind of already knows, being a hunter. He knows what's up.
Probably better than Lenny does.
Yeah. So I just placate and like, oh yeah, you're that's very true. Then I just keep walking.
What letter did you guys get? What was Hamlin ranting about this time?
I appear he's seen a shadow blocking out the sky.
Spooky shadow, huh? I haven't heard that one before. It's got some new material, I guess.
You know, there might be a grain of truth in what he's saying.
Well,
Even a busted clock is right at 2 times a day.
I have no doubt that he looked out the window and the sun got blocked out by something that flew past it, but it doesn't take anything super big in order to do that, you know? The sun's small, it's only like this big.
Well, no, that's a matter of perspective. Because have you not seen when it's rising? It's a little bigger.
Sure, it's like this big. If I passed in front of this, I would block it. See?
Your logic appears to be sound, young Lenny.
Well, that's another one you can write in your book there, pal.
So you're saying this is a new one. What sort of things have they reported so far?
Oh, I remember Hamlin ranting and raving about something called the bungler.
That sounds like it could be a thing.
What it was?
He said it was a 9-foot tall mopok, just like you. That.
Oh yes, I'm totally 9 feet tall.
Well, sorry, it was a mopok like you are, but it's 9 feet tall, unlike you. And he called it the bungler because it had unnaturally bad dexterousness. Like it was real clumsy. So he saw a 9-foot tall raccoon man, super clumsy. So he came into town and mailed a letter about that. So that's the kind of thing you're up against. There was...
I mean, I might be concerned about that. That's not, I saw that.
About a month ago, he came into town talking about the Dipsy Doodler.
That just sounds like fun.
Yeah, he said it was a butterfly so imperceptible to the birdfolk eye that you'd never be able to find it. So that's really useful. Anyway, this is gonna be fun, and he keeps marching forward.
I will admit that I have a little bit of trepidation if these are in fact the things that he was writing to the council about.
Well, you know what? That's fair. We should just go back. And he turns around and starts heading.
No. I do not think so. No. Let's not be hasty, young Lenny. I think if this is worthy of investigation, at least to find out what, pray tell, might be afflicting the poor man.
I think it's just old age and too much, pickled meat. It's pickled his brain.
Is that how it works?
That is not how it works.
It certainly did it to him, I think.
Well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. And if you're eating pickled stuff, eventually you'll get pickled, right?
I mean, I don't know, so I can't argue.
Does the same go for walnuts?
Well, yeah. If you eat too many nuts, you get nuts.
I mean, I have said, now people have said that I am a bit nutty, but I always assumed it was, I am a connoisseur of nuts. As you are aware, and I hold out a hand that has a variety of nuts. I just like saying the word nuts. just like that.
Especially
yes.
in this voice.
I have a plethora of nut varieties. I even have some heirloom nuts. Sorry. I'll never
What is an heirloom nut? Now I'm invested.
This would be the time that my husband brings me hot coffee.
They're just really, really strange shaped nuts, is what I call them, heirloom nuts. They are ancient nuts. These ones aren't for eating. They are for admiring.
So you just admire these nuts?
These ones you just look at and go, oh, these are nice nuts. I don't know.
Letty had stopped about 10 feet
Well,
ahead.
Palm, you do have some pretty nice looking nuts.
Well, thank you. I have collected them over the years. I'm very proud of my nuts.
Lenny is standing 10 feet ahead. He stops and he like turns on his heel real slowly to turn around. And he says, "Is this really what we're talking about right now?"
Yeah. This is it.
It appears so, young Lenny.
Have you all been eating his nuts?
I mean, usually by the time he gets them in front of his beak and he breaks them all open, then he eats them. So I don't think it's not always share time with Palm's nuts.
No, we can never seem to get a hand on his nuts.
No.
He always just devours them far too quickly.
He's very quick and greedy with his nuts, so.
In the background, you just hear. Just like trekking along.
On special occasions, I have been known to be charitable with my nuts.
Nuts for everyone.
Lenny turns around again and he just starts walking and he says, "You can follow me or not, I really don't care. Please stop talking about this. For the purposes of this conversation, I am a kid. How's that? I'm a little kid. I don't want to hear about your nuts."
Fair enough.
Guess we're driving him a little nuts.
So as you move on, there is a bit of a forest path that you're following that he's leading you down, but eventually it just becomes, it narrows and narrows and narrows, and now eventually you're just moving through the woods. I'm assuming, Peabody, that you took your favorite terrain as forest.
I did.
Yes, that's wise.
A smart move.
Yeah. There's like hunters with the rangers with the desert favorite terrain sitting back at the cabin being like, "Well, I'll wait here until
the forest turns
to dust." So if you want
have
to make
a little bit of downtime, I guess.
Yeah. Lenny slows down considerably. There's a lot of like looking at a compass and a lot of like picking directions.
Yeah.
So if maybe you want to give him a hand,
Ooh.
you can do a survival check for me with advantage because you're in the woods.
Survival. Ooh. 24.
Yeah, you kind of like put your hands on his shoulders and steer him in a new direction and just kind of push him forward. And he's like, "Yeah, that's
You're doing great. You're doing great."
what, is this a massage? It's not so bad. Yeah.
Does Lenny really want those claws? Those giant pangolin claws?
It's called deep tissue, and it's good. So, as you're moving along, Squeak, your ears twitch. You can't
They
identify.
usually do.
I know, but this time they twitch in a specific direction, and you sense that something's moving in the woods alongside you. But when you look, you can't see. You don't see what it is, I mean.
I nudge probably Peabody, who I'm traveling next to, and I say, "Hey, there's something over there. I don't know what it is, but it's right over there.
Right over
I think.
there.
Yeah. I heard a noise. I don't know what the noise was. Do you know what the noise was? Did you hear it? Did you hear the noise?
I have everybody sort of stop, and I'm just like, wait, shh, don't move. And I like sort of, I look and sort of like strafe over to where the sound comes from.
All right, you want to do a perception check for me?
Yes, I do. 17.
You strain your eyes to see what could possibly be moving through the woods to make this sound. But you only see it when it's set upon you, and I'm going to get everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no. Oh no.
I say this is an unfortunate number.
I rolled really well for initiative for me.
Nice.
Woohoo!
What'd you get?
I rolled a 14 on the die, but normally I get under a 10 for initiative, and that's just, it doesn't matter what character I'm rolling for.
So what's your total there?
It's
Squeak?
17 for me.
All right. Spindle?
22.
Nice. Spindle's shadow stash. Palm.
Hey.
I say 10 on the bones.
I say spit it out, boy. Palm, right. And then Peabody.
A
10?
a 16.
A 16.
Mhm.
All right. Spindle, you're up first. Bursting out of the woods. Bursting out of the woods is a fairly large leopard print cat that's got almost like moss and stuff is growing on its back, like leaves and moss growing out of it. And then there are two bone horns sticking out of the top of its head, coming out of the fur on the top of its head. And you immediately recognize it as a forest prowler.
Hey, look, Lenny, it's exactly what you wanted to see. Anyway,
Lenny is up a tree.
that makes sense. That's fair. That's fair, Lenny. Lenny, I appreciate your consistency on this. You know?
He just yells, "Handle this!"
Yep.
Don't tell us what to do. I just get out my battle axes.
Yeah, I take out a rapier, and I'm gonna try and, like, how far is it? Is it like very far? Can I make my way over?
It's gotten in front of the group in the woods, so it's maybe like 20 feet ahead of you.
Okay, so then I can definitely make my way over to it. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I basically run over, and I'm trying to avoid the front part that's very chompy, because that seems like a bad part. So I'd like to avoid the chomp section.
The chomp section full of points? Yes.
Yep. I want to avoid that chunk. And I want to go around the side to a slightly more soft, generous section, and I would like to do an rapier on it.
Okay. Roll your rapier.
Oh, that's not good.
A bad rapier.
That's very, very bad. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
So that's a 10.
Unfortunately, that is a miss, as the forest prowlers are known to be basically like liquid, and when it comes to being attacked, they tend to move so fluidly that as to bend around your weaponry.
Well, that's not what I was expecting, and I'd like
Do
to...
you have an offhand attack or anything?
I was gonna say, can I bonus action disengage and kind of jump back a little bit?
Yeah, you say you got about 10 feet left.
Yeah, so I like go in, try and do a slash, go like nope, and try and like back the fuck up. Like, whoops, this is a mistake.
Yep. Squeak, you're up next.
Okay, I'm just double checking this spell because I've never used it before. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Never mind. I can't do that. I'm gonna go up to it and I'm gonna say, hey, oh, you know what? That choppy part, it doesn't look very pointy. And I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on it.
You insulted its chompy points?
Yes.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Was that a wisdom save?
Yes, please.
That's a 7.
Yes. All right. It is 2d4. Yay. 2 and 2. So 4 psychic damage.
All right. You hurt the kitty face for how much? 4, you said?
4.
All right.
And I'm staying back towards the rear of the group. So that was my action. As my bonus action, I'm going to be like, hey, Pom, you got this, Pom. And I'm going to give him a D8 Bardic Inspiration.
Ooh, level 6.
Yeah.
All right. Peabody, you're up next.
Okay. So he's the beast is right up on me.
They kind of, there's one and it's up ahead and it's like it's sort of now engaged with Spindle a little bit. You've got about 15, 20 feet.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go, okay, here we go. And I'm gonna like run up to it with my battle axes that match my scales, because I'm and I'm gonna hit it as hard as I possibly can.
All right, give me an attack roll.
That would be a 19.
That's a hit.
Yes. Oh, geez, it's not a lot. 5.
Okay.
5 damages.
5 total?
6, because it's my +1, my thingy. 6 total, and then I have a multi-attack.
All right, you get to attack again.
I'm going to do it again.
This is one mean pangolin, I gotta say.
I'm very nice until I'm not. 24.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
That hits.
And then I'm gonna 3. It's an angry 3 damage though.
That's with all your bonuses and everything?
Yep.
All right.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. You find that even though you are making contact, the forest prowler is kind of like moving in such a way that the blows don't do as much damage as you'd like. You're not getting like full impacts on them.
I forgot one thing. Can I bonus action Hunter's Mark them after? I know I'm supposed to do it before, but can I bonus action it now for next turn?
You're good to go.
Cool.
You know what? I'll even let you roll. You can roll the d6 on the other 2 hits.
Oh, you're so kind.
It's fine. This is a game. That's for fun.
I forgot. I have to remember. Okay. Oh,
but if you mess it up again, Meg.
I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Ooh. So that was a 1 on the first one. So that makes it a 7 for the first hit total. And then
I've already written that down. So just give me the d6 rolls.
Okay. So 1 and 2.
Oh, very nice. Well, it's 3 damage that he didn't have before.
Right. And I just go, oh.
All right. So it is the forest prowler's turn. And the forest flower is going to do a swipe, chomp on Spindle. First the swipes.
Not a swipe, chomp! I was avoiding the chomp. I told you that.
It dashes towards you.
Okay.
One is a definite miss with a 3. The other one is a 25, which I believe is a hit.
Oh, that definitely does not. Yes, it hits. 25.
I am asking, because I have to, you take 8 points of slashing damage as a big fuzzy claw slashes across you, your raccoonness. Then he goes in to try and make a chomp on you.
Okay.
He rolls a 22.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk.
I can.
The powerful chomp jaws.
I'm gonna uncanny dodge.
You want to hear the damage first?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
13.
Yeah, then I'm glad I'm doing an uncanny dodge on the chomp. See, I knew the chomps were the real issue here. I knew it.
There is a hissing sound as
all my air is released.
Yeah, you've been popped and you just.
Oh no! You discover that I'm actually a balloon.
You dipsy doodle into the night into the early morning sky. A second forest prowler is swatting at Lenny in his tree.
Oh no.
Oh.
And he says, "Oh, now you deal with this. Now you deal with this." And he tries to get up to a higher branch.
Oh,
Lenny, you're useless.
I know. I tried to tell you that. Palm, you're up.
Oh, all right. Well, this seems to be a situation. I am going to cast Guiding Bolt at the one attacking Lenny. Young Squire Lenny, I shall save you. And I roll. How does one? What do I add anything to this?
You do.
Roll of a thing.
It's your spell attack bonus.
My modifier or my spell attack? Oh, so that's an 18.
Now, Palm, that is a hit. What you've got on your hands there, son, is a hit.
Well, this is just like that time I heard that band. They had a hit.
That's right. That's right. It's like your records your mama used to play for you, Palm. They all had. So they were just covered in hits.
4d6. So that's 8, 13.
It's quite the whammy.
And whoever makes an attack roll against that has advantage on the next.
So it's, go ahead.
Can I use a bonus? I can't remember spells.
You can cast 2 spells on a turn as long as one of them is a cantrip.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any bonus action cantrips.
There are not any bonus action cantrips.
Nope.
Then I have successfully done what I needed to do.
You see the forest prowler immediately drop down off the tree and focus its attention onto you, Palm.
Here, kitty.
Oh no.
It's time for your kibble.
It's chicken flavored.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
These chickens are tender. Spindle.
Okay.
Spindle, you're up.
Okay. Une question pour vous. It moved from where, because Peabody attacked it, but then it moved, so Peabody is no longer flanking with me on...
Oh yeah, Peabody should have gotten an attack of opportunity. Yep. So Peabody, do you want to... No, I'll give it to you now.
Yeah?
Fun and game and all that stuff.
Where are you going? I don't know why you're leaving. Oh, bad. Ooh, that's a 6.
Okay. So,
yeah, that's a miss.
So it didn't happen anyway. So that's really what... so it's not flanked because it moved away.
That's right.
Okay. The one that Palm is Palm is? Like, there's one facing Palm now?
Yes. Palm needs some aid.
That's
Palm aid.
Oh god. Oh god.
Dapper Dan, man.
I don't want no fop.
What do you think keeps all these feathers up?
Amazing. Can I disengage from the one attacking me and go sneak up on the one focused on Palm and try and get it from behind, like in almost a sneak attack like fashion, one might say?
Sure. You can bonus action hide, I believe, right, as a rogue?
I can bonus action disengage from the one that's
right. Okay, but hiding from it to get an ambush on it is an action.
Well, you can bonus action hide. You could
take the disengage. Yeah, you could ignore the disengage and bonus action hide, or you can bonus action disengage and hide and then attack next time.
Oh dang. Oh, I see. I thought because he was there with it, because it was on Palm.
It isn't on him yet. If he was within, if
It's
Palm was
not
right
on
beside
him
him.
yet.
It's coming towards me. It's not on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, I had it move around a bit when it wasn't its turn for dramatic effect. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's cool then. Then I will do a slash on this here boy, and then make my way over to that there boy.
You will get your sneak attack damage on this one because Peabody is nearby.
Oh, okay. I thought I didn't get that. Okay, then I will yes, I will do.
Yeah, you have Peabody within 5 feet.
Okay, I'm doing that then on this here kitty cat, and it did a chomp inst on me, so I'm trying to pop it right in the snoot. I'm trying to boop the snoot because that's rude. God damn it!
Oh no.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Jordan, I forgot to talk to you about this in the morning because I wanted to do the amaranthine thing.
That's fine. You could do it up.
Okay, because I rolled a 5 and a 16.
And you have to choose. You have to choose what kind of rolls they replace.
I think I was gonna do attack rolls.
Both? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to swap one in? Is that what you're getting at?
May I?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So I get this...
I just look over at Bindle, and I have on my neck I had this little oak branch with like a carved flame at the top of it, and I hold it out and the flame turns into real flame. And I said, I say, hit that thing, y'all. And I replace it with the 16.
Okay, so then a 16 brings me up to 25.
Okay, that is a hit.
Okay, thank you.
The hits keep coming.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you.
Hit it in the nuts.
That's not where I'm aiming right now, but maybe next time. Thank you.
I just wanted to say nuts.
Nuts.
So that's 10 damage with my rapier.
All right, and now you can roll your sneak attack.
I can do a sneak attack?
A
sneak attack.
snicket.
There's a snack now?
A snick snack?
Yeah, sneak attack goes snicker snack.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do this. That's a 2. That fell off. That's a 4, so that's 6. And then 1, so 7. So 17.
17 total.
Oh, yeah, exactly. 17 total. Silver plates.
Silver plates. That is a sound hit, and it looks, if not, it looks wounded, if not severely injured. It's got a gash along its side.
No, I was booping it in the snoot. Did I successfully boop its snoot?
You booped it to 2 towns over, is what you did.
Oh, dang.
I say that sneak attack was so quiet you could hear a caterpillar sneaking across a moss bed in tennis shoes.
Why, thank you. And then once again, so that was my attack. I'm gonna do a disengage.
Okay, yep.
Disengage, floop away towards the other one that Palm requested assistance, and I must deliver on that pomade.
Dusty, I know that was an original and not a Foghorn Leghorn from foghornleghornquotes.com. So I'm going to provide you with a little DM inspiration because
Yay!
Yeah.
So you can give advantage to someone else or yourself on something. Or you can give disadvantage to one of my little fellas.
Oh, nice.
Yep. All right. Moving along. Squeakers,
Okay.
squeakins.
Yes. Squeak kind of comes up right next to Pom and say, "Hey Pom, you'll really like this one. I learned this one from the Mighty Mouseker Tale. It was great." Okay. And I pull my lute from around my back and I say, and I play just a little ditty. And I start to cast Thunderwave, but I spend a Bardic Inspiration die to make it have lightning damage instead.
Nice.
On the one that is approaching Pom. So make a, what is it, a Dex save? No, Constitution save.
Con save coming up. A natural 20.
Darn it. Okay.
But I think they still take half damage, so they just still get knocked back.
Yeah. It's 2d8. And this will actually be lightning damage rather than thunder damage.
Yep, electric guitar.
It kind of lights up a little bit. Ooh, that was double sevens. Can I just say I rolled double sevens there?
Very nice. Unfortunately, though, it is cut in half for them, but that's still really good.
Yeah, that's still 7 damage.
Sorry, you're going after the other one, right?
Yeah, the one that's coming up to Pom, because I was kind of there anyways. So
when you do dueling banjos, the last note like echoes out and lightning shoots up and down the lute and zaps this guy. It's almost like a hand made out of lightning is looking to try and push it back. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's gonna be it.
Okay. Peabody.
Ooh. I'm gonna go after the one that I hunters marked before.
Okay.
Which I think is the one near Pom now.
You hunters marked the first one that you saw. So it's still the one that you and Spindle were fighting.
Okay.
There's one right beside you. That's the one that's hunters marked.
That's the one I'm gonna be like, what the, all right, let's try this again, and then
Okay.
battle axe. Da, da, da. 18.
That's a hit.
Yay! And then we're gonna do. Boop. Oh, well, that's 7 damages.
7 damage.
And then I'm gonna do it again.
What? That sounds like cheating.
Oh, that was not good. 9.
That one is unfortunately a miss.
Oh, and we're just gonna go. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is not good. And I think I'm gonna they're right next to me, right? So I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay there. And
okay.
And that's it.
Oh, did you roll the extra d6 on your first hit?
I didn't. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm gonna write it down. I need like a hunter's mark post-it note.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be 3 extra.
3 extra.
Yes.
All right. This one is not looking good.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's now their turn.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So just their stats are over here. The one that you have been dealing with, Peabody, and that you attacked a little bit, Spindle, is pretty beat up. So he's going to use his turn to disengage and run off into the woods.
Where are you going?
It's hurt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it runs into the woods and it's in the woods. And you can kind of still see where it is. The other one charges full speed at Pom. And he's going to do a pounce.
I said, bring it on!
So he runs towards you.
He doesn't say that. He goes, oh, nuts!
Does a 15 hit you?
Just hits me.
All right. So you get hit by a claw attack for some damage. For maximum damage, 12 points of slashing damage. And then I need you to do a strength saving throw, please.
Oh no, I am not strong.
You're strong of will.
How much? 12 points of damage.
Yeah, it does a D8, but I rolled an 8 plus its bonus. So.
Of course you did. A strength saving throw. Hold on 1 minute while I throw this dice on the ground. That is... Where the hell are my saves? Oh, there. That is a 13.
Well, now I say, Palm, now I say that you have been knocked prone.
Well, that is unfortunate. As
And with its bonus action, it will make a second wise slap across the face.
Oh no.
again.
With advantage.
Yes.
Because you are prone, as previously mentioned.
I am prone to being prone.
And I rolled a 15 again, so that is
That just hits.
Oof.
And you take less than maximum damage this time. You take 6 points of damage. Feathers are flying, friends. Feathers are flying. Next up is Palm.
Is this on top of me, or can I stand up?
You are not pinned. You're not pinned, but you're knocked down.
Then I shall stand up.
You have fallen, but you may get up.
Got knocked down, but you get up again.
Yeah.
Rest assured, everyone, I am sturdy on my feet as I stand up. This was quite unfair of you, and I would like to cast Sacred Flame, the cantrip, at its face.
So you're currently at point blank range. You'll be at disadvantage,
I
unfortunately.
will be at disadvantage. I understand.
All right.
That
The
is an
snoot.
18. Well, or a 16. So a 16 plus...
Mercy,
Yes.
mercy, you hit.
Mercy, mercy me. So 1d8, a radiant, which is a 7.
You shoot a sacred flame right up this thing's snoot.
And then I use a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, I've been informed that sacred flame is a save, and that is correct. So
Oh, it is a save, isn't it?
I keep forgetting that you don't shoot it.
I always forget that it's a save.
Yep.
It's a
Okay.
dexterity save.
A 15.
I do not play clerics.
Is a 15 good or good enough or bad?
I believe that my spell save is 14, so it makes it save.
Well, poopinst.
Well, despite that, I cast bonus action Spiritual Weapon, and a giant walnut appears next to this creature, and it gets to make an attack.
A walnut
It's
wall.
not called the Nutcracker?
Yes.
Boy, I'm gonna show you what it's like to be beat with a nut. I say to this forest creature. What is the plus on this? Is it just my spell thing? 16?
That is a hit.
Then it will take 1d8, which is a 5 plus 6, so 11. It gets hit with a walnut for 11 points of damage.
Very nice. All right, that walnut really packs a wallop. Top of the round, Spindle.
Okay. So now is Palm still down? And the
No, I have stood
Oh, you
up.
stood up. Okay, but the kitty's still like facing
It
Palm.
is right in my face, yes.
Okay.
As mentioned before, he got knocked down, but he
He
got
got
up
back
again.
up again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I booped the other cat
You
on
can
the snoot.
never keep me down. Sorry.
That's
I just
okay.
had to get that in there.
That's okay. I just booped the other cat on the snoot, and I came rolling over this way, and now do it. Slashums on this cat, too, please.
You're like a dancer on the battlefield.
This is flanked now, right? Because I'm hitting it now. Because he's all up in its face. I want to hit it on the butt. That's like the opposite end, right? Like, so he's got the front and I got the back. He's got his nuts all up in its face. So this is okay, right? Okay, cool. I'm rolling. I rolled, that is
This cat's
19?
definitely distracted by these nuts.
D's nuts here. 19. Does a 19 hit?
What'd you get to hit, sorry?
19.
That's a hit.
Okay, thank you. Now I do, the damage is 12 damage. And I get snick a snack.
You do.
Sneak snack. 1, 2, which is 3. And another 1. That was a terrible 4 snack attack. Wasn't very snacky, but the original hit on his butt was pretty good. So.
Yeah. No, you spanked it real good.
Yeah, I did.
Squeak.
Okay, so.
Sorry, Spindle. Did you have anything else you wanted to do? Move or anything?
No, that seems good. I think I spanked it. It's good. I think it's good. If everyone's cool.
Spank the kitty.
Yep. Kitty cat.
You've got to spank the kitten.
No.
Squeak, you're up.
So, Squeak sees this thing in their face essentially, and they pull out the rapier and they take a slash at the thing. Let's see if that. Oh, that's a 16 on the die plus plus 6 is a 20. Yeah. 7 piercing damage, and then as they stab this creature, they say, "Look what Susan taught me," and I'm going to use one of my bardic inspiration to actually no, I don't need to use this because this is my favorite trick. Going to after piercing the creature with the rapier. Turns and throws a kick at its face, and then follows that with a tail attack.
I'm trying to imagine a little jerboa foot like kicking something, and it's not scary to me. It's like a marshmallow on the end of a stick that you're using. You know what I mean? Like, and someone is just like tapping you with it.
So,
oh no, I guess.
About that, I just rolled a natural 20.
Okay, sure. You know Kung Fu. So double up those dice.
Yeah, and I use the same die as my bardic inspiration, which is a D8.
Nice. So 2d8.
Yeah, so that's 4, 7, 11, and then that is plus my dex, 14 for the kick to the face.
Wow.
And then follows it with a smack with the tail. Oh, that's cocked. Ah, that went everywhere. That's a 14 on the die, plus 17 to hit with the tail.
Okay, yeah, that's a hit.
And then another 7. So 10 bludgeoning damage from getting kicked and tail whipped by a Gerbine.
So, Squeak, describe how this cat dies.
A mouse killing a cat.
Yeah.
I feel like this is poetic justice right here.
Ah.
How do you kick this cat in half?
They pierce the rapier into the cat's chest, and then uses that to kind of as a lever to kick the cat square in the face, followed by a tail as they essentially just do like a cartwheel, like a spinning cartwheel over this cat, using the rapier as like the point on which they're cartwheeling. And yeah, just kind of the tail just gets right in his eye. And
nice. Do you have razor blades hidden in there or something?
Nope.
All right.
I'm just talented.
The
really lucky.
The body of the forest prowler kind of slumps down onto the forest floor, and we drop out of combat as the cat is drop kicked by the mouse.
pulls their rapier out and says, Susan taught me that one. That was a really good trick, huh?
I should like to meet this Susan.
Lenny
She
says,
seems like
go ahead.
she seems like quite the woman.
She's a Maypock.
She seems like quite the Maypock. They are wily, I have noticed.
Lenny's climbing down. He's like, I hope to never meet Susan ever.
Now,
You
young
thought so?
Squire Lenny. I remember your name. Have we not proven our capability? Excuse me, I am bleeding. I will return shortly.
No, I'm feeling safer. I'm feeling
need help
safer.
with that?
Oh, well, I was just gonna. How is everyone feeling?
I feel fine, but if you need some help, I can help you out a little bit. I can sing a nice song.
Oh, that would be wonderful. While you sing a song, I will also read this here manual on medication out loud, and I read to you like a medical journal.
Oh.
And I cast. I cast healing. What the word is that spelling thing? Healing word on myself. No, I cast cure wounds on myself because I need it. I'm like below half health.
I feel
Which is
about
good.
like 1/3 as good as I usually like. Oh, sorry, 2/3 as good as I usually do.
You know what? Why not? I'm just gonna mass healing word, you and me, and anyone else that got hit.
Did anyone else get hit, or was it just Palm and Spindle?
I'm all set, but I could also help you guys if you need it.
Well, I get
Yeah, I was just gonna play my lute a little bit.
That's fine. I will accept some music. I was like, any help you might partake. I'm just gonna sit here and eat these nuts.
Okay, so after you cast your spell, I guess, see who still needs healing, and then I'll heal the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Actually, I'll do 2 healing words, one on me and one on. So that's 2, 4. God, D4s are dumb. 7 plus 3, so 10. 10 points to you and me. Spindle.
Each? Like both? Okay.
Yeah, I cast it twice. It's just healing word. It's small.
Okay. I'm better. I'm fine. I'm good to go. I'm okay. I I still have like a scraped knee and like a slightly chomped.
How much did we get from?
You need a little extra, cause I can.
Yeah. I could use a little more.
Just a little bit, or like a little bit more than that.
Just a little bit, I think.
Just a little bit. Okay.
I could get the next time.
Level 1 healing word. Let's see. Oh, hey, that was great. That was 12. You got maximum healing. That was.
Well, I
played it really well.
That actually gets me right back up to. I feel tip top.
Perfect.
I seem to be missing feathers, but luckily I keep spare feathers around with numbers on them so I can put them back in the right place. That is actually a Foghorn Leghorn quote as well.
They look a little ruffled though.
I do like a little shake. I get all puffy again in my head. It's like whatever was matted down.
While you 4 are patching up your wounds, it starts to get a little darker. Like you think a shadow, a cloud is passing over. But as you look up, you see silhouetted against the sky something with a huge wingspan. And
Hey, that must be the thing that they wrote about.
It goes over top, and you can't really see because of the way that it's silhouetted. You can't see much more definition of it, but it disappears into the further into the woods.
I cast Elevated Sight.
Ooh, a Humblewood spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it just works. I think it shoots up like an eyeball that 120 feet or 150 feet in the air.
120.
And you can see from there. Yeah, so your perspective is now a literal bird's eye view. Give me a perception roll.
Oh.
I turn to Lenny and I'm like, oh hey Lenny, what's that? Is that Is that something you normally see around here? Does that look like a real small bird that's just just flying right overhead? Seem like a perspective thing to you?
Lenny's neck is like at a 90-degree angle, staring straight up in the air, and his mouth is just hanging open, and he doesn't answer.
I just go, great amaranth. I can't say that word.
Amaranthine?
Great amaranth. I just couldn't say it with a southern accent.
Amaranth.
Great amaranthine. That's a looper.
I rolled a 22.
Yeah, so you get a good look at this thing, and it seems to have at least a 12-foot kind of wingspan, and it has the body, the lower body, the body and the legs, clawed legs of a large eagle, except it's got red and blue colored plumage, very, very beautiful shimmering plumage, but its head is that of what looks like a stag, and it has big antlers that are coming back. And you rolled pretty high, so there's like some crackling, dark energy crackling between the antlers.
Oh no.
And it dives like at a rocket speed down into the woods. And you can hear just in the distance something squeak and then stop.
That was me.
Oh, trust me, Squeak, if it was you, you would know.
Oh no.
Oh, I know that wasn't me.
Lenny is looking, he's still like looking straight up in the sky, and he says, well, this is where I leave you, and he starts walking.
No.
Would you like to walk alone in the woods with that flying above you?
I'm going in whatever direction it's not going in.
No,
Yes, that's why we're here. And obviously, we're the only thing that can protect you here. So you should come with us, or else one of those cat things are going to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have me, the Great Mouse Protector.
She did kill a forest.
Prowler.
I told you I saw those before.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Fine. I'll finish the job. But if that's a thing that happens, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Oh, we almost all surely dead. I don't think it would matter. But please, come along, young Squire Lenny.
Let's
That's
go.
very positive. Yep. As you go maybe another hour or so, you come to a clearing, and there is this shabby-looking cabin. And Lenny points it out and says, that's it. That's where he lives. That's Hamlin's house.
Okay, have fun walking back alone now, Lenny. Bye.
Oh, now you want me to go?
No, you seem to really want to go before. I just think it'd be like, if that's what you want to do.
If I get back
Your
to
job was
town,
to get us here. You
If
don't
I
have to stay.
get back to town and Bernice sees me without you guys, I'm never going to hear the end of it. So.
See, you weren't even going to leave before. She kind of claps him on the back. It's fine, Lenny.
Yeah. This has instead of mushrooms, it has like a wooden ladder that leads up to it, or a simple one that kind of angle up to the cabin. It's not very big at all, maybe 15 feet wide kind of thing.
But it's up it's
Up in the tree, yeah.
up in the tree.
Should we call up there first, or should we just go?
Spindle's already climbing up, and I'm climbing up the tree because I have climbing speed.
You're doing a
Wow,
great job.
that was fast.
So you don't take the ladder, you climb up the tree?
I climb up the tree because I can with my dexterous
How
little...
tall is it?
It's about 20 feet up.
Yep.
So you find yourself up in kind of like there's a wraparound porch kind of thing. There's some heavy snoring coming from inside.
Ooh. I put my head over the patio, and I look down, and I'm like, he's asleep.
Marty knocking on the door. It's just a constant.
You should probably wake him up.
That's what I'm trying.
There's a snort and some motion and movement, and then a thud as a hammock upends and something hits the ground. and this really wizened-looking strig in hunting leathers opens up the door, and he says, "What could be as important as waking me up for my afternoon nap?"
Lopa!
What?
We have received your letter about the Lopa, and then we have just recently come across, flying in the sky, the Lopa.
With the antlers and the energy and the wings and the.
I say, we believe that you are not as crazy as other people say you are.
Someone...
Oh, yeah, we definitely saw that with our own eyes. That was kind of crazy.
And lots of people do think you're crazy.
Please. Someone read one of my letters.
Oh yes, I have it right here.
You're here because of my letter?
I say yes. I mean, I don't understand why you're making us repeat ourselves.
Wait here. He goes
Well,
in.
that seems ominous.
There's some rummaging around, some tripping over things, and then there's a sound. And he comes out and he's got a bottle of champagne that's overflowing all over the place, and 5 wooden goblets. First we celebrate, then we hunt.
What are we celebrating?
Someone answered one of my letters.
You're
I'm
really
not
that
a kook.
surprised.
And now you've said you've seen it. You've seen the Lopa.
Oh, yes. Well, I think you have given it an understated name, though.
Doesn't really lope at all. It has some antlers, though. So the lure is probably fine, but the lope was not.
Now, you didn't.
How about the flyer?
You didn't see
Glider?
it take off, did you?
No, it was ominously gliding through the sky.
It bounds. That's the thing. It glides like us. It can't fly for long distances, well, longer than we can, but it jumps. That's where it gets its name. It lopes.
Well,
Maybe you could call it a jumper?
He's pouring drinks out for everyone. He's like, I admit to inventing the Dipsy Doodle just to see if anyone was paying attention, but this actually happened.
Oh, I was looking forward to the Dipsy Doodle.
I'm sorry.
I do enjoy a good
I
bug
said he was
conversation.
imperceptible to the eye. I mean, obviously no one cares. But you're here, and we're going
Lenny said that he heard about the Dipsy Doodle.
Lenny? And he's like looking around. Lenny is still standing at the base of the tree. He's leaning up against the ladder.
He doesn't need a drink. Don't worry about him.
I don't know if there's a drinking age in Humblewood.
He's only 18.
Yeah.
He's a Grumpy Gills anyways. Grumpy Quills, I should say.
I mean, he's legal to drink in Quebec and like Europe, so I feel like
Humblewood is a fictional place, so I don't know what the math is
He
on
could
that.
probably use a drink.
he called himself an adult. If you're old enough to be in the militia, you should be old enough to have a drink.
I
Can you do that
don't
here in
know.
our actual country, though?
I don't know who you're talking about or why you're talking about him, but I am excited to see you.
No.
He's downstairs.
He
Ladder,
tosses
down ladder.
his drink back, and he starts gathering things up. Now you see that actually one of his legs is a wooden peg,
Oof.
and he has an eye patch covering his right eye. And he's very slow.
You're in the wrong environment. You should go work on a ship.
People keep saying that to me, and I don't quite understand why.
Oh, just things I've seen.
Well, are we going to go after this thing? Did you see it dive?
Oh no, yeah.
We saw where it landed. Well, went into the trees at least.
I've been finding dead animals everywhere.
I heard a squeak.
Yes. Creatures that,
And it wasn't Squeak.
no. Who?
Me.
Oh, I'm Hamlin the Hunter. I feel as though I should introduce myself.
Oh yeah, no, I feel we have jumped the gun. I am Pom Pombadil.
A pleasure.
A pleasure to meet you.
Chesterfield, at your service.
Well, that is a fine way to introduce. Now I'm doing Southern accent. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's a tick.
It's simply contagious. What was I doing for it? It doesn't matter. That is a noble way to introduce yourself, young Squeak. And you're kind of like a little rolling stone.
Yep.
He looks at Peabody.
But my name's Peabody. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Double battle axes, eh?
You know it.
Very bold. And you, Mopok?
Yes. My name is not Mopok. It is Spindle Shadowstash, but nice to meet you, Strig.
Nice to meet you too. Let's go. And he starts slowly making his way down the ladder.
I want to like. No, I won't do it.
This place has like one corner is just filled with trophies that he doesn't have room for on the walls. He's got a couple that he's put up that seem to be important to him, like a forest prowler head and a couple other things. There's a cot hanging from the ceiling. There's a small wood stove, but not much else. And it doesn't look like anything's been cleaned here in a long time.
Okay. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is his forest prowler head bigger than the one Squeak just killed?
That's pretty big. Its horns are a lot longer.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Looks older.
I should have grabbed one of the horns.
We kind of have to go back that way. Maybe we can like.
You can make an instrument out of it.
Ooh.
The one that ran away is still hunter's marked.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, you could just spend the rest of the game tracking that guy down.
Let's do it.
I know.
Yeah. And eat nuts.
Are you following Hamlin down the ladder?
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes him like 5 minutes to get to the bottom of the ladder, and he actually has like a walking stick that he leans on.
Down the ladder?
No, once he gets to the bottom of the ladder.
Okay, that sounded complicated.
Well, you can hear Lenny asking, "When was the last time you left this place, Gramps?" And he's like, "Oh, well, it was a few days ago to come to see you, of course, but this is my first hunt in some time, but it's fine, it's fine. This one's real, Lenny. This one's real." And he starts heading out.
Yes, and real things tend to be much more dangerous than imaginary things.
Oh, the Dipsy Doodle wasn't dangerous at all. Didn't exist, you see.
Oh, I get all bummed out again.
So, what direction was it going in?
It was going off that. I point to the same direction as everyone else is pointing.
I point in the opposite direction just to be difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say Squeak points in like a random direction.
I just start walking. He went this way, and I just start walking.
All right, give me a survival check with advantage there, Peabody.
Okay. Ooh. Survival. 25.
All right. So yeah, you kind of picture in your mind's eye where, especially since you had that bird's eye view of where it dove down into the woods, and you start heading down that way. You travel for about half an hour when you start to see evidence of this creature, like drag marks where it's dragged its wings along like the trees, and you can see bark has been torn away. A couple of like claw marks down in the brush, and a little bit of blood from whatever it attacked, like leaving a little bit of a trail. Up ahead, though, something weird happens to the forest. It's like the colors start to get more vibrant in a clearing further up. And it's really strange. It looks, yeah, I'm going to say it's fall, but it looks like springtime further up.
Can I... 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cast Find Traps.
Okay. How does that work?
Ba-do-ba-boo. That's a great question.
Got D&D Beyond open up here, so I can...
Sorry.
That's all right.
Find traps. Let me access my book of knowledge.
What a day for tramping through the woods.
You gotta sing the song now.
Lippity-doo-da-da-doo-da.
120-foot range. Traps are just kind of illuminated. Oh, no, it isn't illuminated. You just know there's traps around. What an interesting spell. There's no traps.
Oh.
In
Well, I
some,
tried.
there's no traps. Ranger spells, I tell you what.
They are a thing.
And as you're kind of making sure the area is safe, the creature lands. You hear the swoosh of it moving up through the air and arcing down and landing down in the clearing. And it's got something in its jaws and it's like tearing it apart.
Shh. What did you do?
Nope, I should just not talk.
I'm shutting up right now.
Oh.
Can I sneak? Do sneak?
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and try to sneak up and take a look too.
That's smart.
So I'll get stealth rolls from anyone who wants to get a closer look.
Okay. I have advantage on stealth because I have Skulker.
You skulky.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume I get an advantage for invisibility.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Don't need it. Got a nat 20. So
What's your total?
29.
Nice.
Roll just for fun.
18 for me.
Sorry, what did you get there, Squeak?
18.
Okay. Anyone else sneaking?
Is there
Oh no,
everyone else?
I will stay back with young Squire Lenny to keep his spirits calm.
I'll stay too.
Okay.
And Squeak is gonna kind of circle around the opposite way that Spindle is.
Okay. So you're kind of like going up and flanking around.
Mm-hmm.
So as you get to either side, you can see it's facing away from you right now. You start to see that what Peabody described to you wasn't exactly accurate. Yes, it did have the lower, like the body of an eagle, but its feet became more like a rabbit's feet. So it actually has paws with big talons on the end of it, seemingly giving it the jumping power that Hamlin has described. Oh, I guess Hamlin will probably want to sneak up too.
No! Hamlin!
No, he's a skilled ranger. I'm just getting his stats.
Now you let an old ranger go out the way he lived, if that is his.
Oh, he's got a peg leg.
We don't know what's
I guess,
in that.
you know what?
leg.
You know, it's not like there's like cobblestone or interlock here, so it's not like he's gonna like tap on anything. If anything, he'll just get stuck in the mud. It's fine.
You got an 18.
That won't make
So-
noise.
Got a little pillow at the end of it for his sneaking.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah,
He puts his peg pillow on.
It has a tennis ball. It's got a tennis ball.
Perfect. Perfect.
So he
Exactly what I was gonna say.
he is difficult to see with his brown, like the strig have a natural kind of ease in hiding, and he gets up. He doesn't go flanking though. He just stays along kind of the main path and gets up close, and you quietly hear him gasp when he gets close. And as you two flank, you see the other side. You see this very like majestic looking creature, but it's deer stag head is like has fangs, and it's like tearing into a forest prowler that it's got its hands on, or its beak on, or face on. And so yeah, and I'll get both of you, Squeak and Spindle, to make perception checks, please.
Perception? Dang
Yep.
it. I'm good
Unless
at
you want to look for something.
so many things, but I'm not good at that.
If you want to look for something specific, if you want to investigate in some way, you need to tell me what you're investigating
I
for.
think I'm looking.
Anything for my
I
DM.
got a 21 for perception.
My specific rogue type is a scout,
Okay.
so I think I'm looking more for natural, like how unnatural this thing is, and or vulnerabilities for when we do attacky stuffs on it.
Are you better at a nature roll?
Nature or survival? I'm good at
Okay.
both.
Make a nature roll.
Okay.
Squeak, you are looking at this thing, and you've seen Servan before, the deer folk of the Humblewood, and they are you have never seen a face like theirs tear into meat the way this thing is tearing into meat, and it's kind of terrifying. And there is something,
especially being as small as I am.
Yes, exactly. And there is something, there is that black crackling energy that Peabody described. There's something stuck in the middle between, floating in the middle between its antlers that seems to be just like covering the antlers in this dark energy. What'd you get on your nature check there, Spindle?
29.
29? Mm-hmm. 29. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I rolled another nat 20.
You have never heard of this creature before, so even with a 29, you don't know what this is. Its parts are made up of animals that you have seen in the woods before, and you have heard of these types of chimera that mix and match. In fact, a lot of the monsters, a lot of the beasts of the Humblewood, sometimes have features of other animals. But this one seems to be more on a elemental level. You know. Everything about it, colors and everything, just give it this Humblewood sheen.
There's like something paranormal about? Like there's like
it's not so much paranormal, it's that some things are touched by the great rhythm of the Humblewood. That's what it's called. And all creatures have a little bit of a connection to it, but some things seem to be born of it. And there is like this, it's like Fey presence, you know, it's this unnatural awe while looking at it. But there's a contradiction to how it's behaving and how it's tearing apart these things.
Yeah, so the way it's like, it's doing that rather viciously. Does it look intelligent? Does it look like... Yeah,
it seems like, just in its glint in its eye, and I'm giving this to you because natural 20, it seems to be aware of what it's doing. You know what I mean? Like it's not just acting on animal instinct, it's intently tearing into this. But you also notice the things swirling around between the antlers.
That's too bad. That's not nice. But also it seems majestic and unique and like we shouldn't fight it.
Yeah, I have a question about the thing between the antlers. Does it look like it's some sort of spell of control or something like that?
You will have to get closer, but I will allow you to do an arcana check if you get closer. I will accept arcana or a religion check.
Yeah, I'm gonna get closer and do an arcana check.
Would have helped with religion at least.
Oh, that was a natural 17 plus 4. 21.
21?
Dang.
On your religion check?
Arcana.
Arcana check, okay. And how close do you get?
I kind of just sneak up step by step, probably within 20 feet or so. I wouldn't want to get any closer than that, really.
Okay, yep, so you step out of you're invisible, right?
Yeah.
So you step out and you get close enough. I'd say you have to get about 15 feet away from it to get a good look at what's going on there. And give me an insight check.
Oh gosh. Oh, that one. 12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Periodically, as it tears into this meat, it seems to be trying to resist doing it. It's how it feels. And that combined with the arcana check, you seem to think something is going on.
Okay, then
it's magic like you've never seen before.
Okay, so I step back into the woods and kind of hide behind a tree a little bit.
Can I get another stealth check from you, please?
Yeah. I can do that.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt Squeak.
Oh. Sure.
Too much.
Yeah, that's a 17.
All right. It kind of like its head snaps up and it looks vaguely in your direction, and then it goes back down to eating.
Okay. Once I'm safely behind the tree, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the thing between its horns.
Dispel Magic is it's a 3rd level spell, right?
Yes.
And It cancels anything 3rd level or lower. Otherwise, you need a roll, if I remember correctly. Okay, so I'm going to need you to make a, I guess it's just a wisdom roll? Or no, a charisma roll?
DC is 10 plus the spells. Yeah, it's a charisma.
Okay. Make a roll.
Oh, that's not very good. That's a 14.
So this also reveals you, or at least you become visible when you cast the spell. So you send out the abjuration magic to cancel out to try and cancel what's on top of its head, and it is, it's powerful magic. And for a minute, you can almost see your magic fight the magic that's on top of it, but whatever is floating between its antlers resists. And the big creature's attention is now turned to you.
Put my head behind the tree.
All right, give me a stealth roll.
Changing dice. You were mean. Oh, that's a natural 1.
Okay.
I should not have changed dice right then.
So it jumps up. It jumps up into the air, and you kind of lose track of where it goes.
I want.
It's gonna come. It's gonna land on me. Oh god, it's gonna land on me. Oh god, it's gonna land on me. I'm going.
Peabody and Palm, you see it jump up.
Like through the tree line, like.
Well, there's a bit of a clearing that it's in, and it's got like a nest. And you see it kind of like bound up into the air, leaving the corpse of the mountain prowler.
This is very important. It goes back on its like little bunny legs and does like a bunny hop.
Yeah, and one foot goes.
Ah! Does it have a bun tail? No, it would need a bird tail for like control of the flying. Yeah, okay. But underneath that tail, there's a bun tail.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's both. It's like a bun tail with feathers coming out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
It's so cute. It's gonna kill us now.
No, we need to be friends with it. We all need to be friends.
Okay, well, we need to fix what's going on in its horns before it will be friends back.
I know.
I could try that 2 more times, but that's it.
You guys all you all coagulate up to the same point. You all meet together right now.
Start making the way back to where Palm and Peabody still are.
So as you're moving back, you see that this area, it's like the trees haven't left springtime here. Like there's a distinct space where you can see that where the border of this stops, where it turns back into fall. So most of the trees are losing their leaves. These ones are just budding.
It's a good magic creature. We can't murder it. Like,
I don't want to murder it. I just want to dispel the magic. I'm gonna hold dispel magic one more time for next time I see it. I'm gonna immediately cast it on the thing between its horns again.
Does Hamlin have any weapons out right now?
Hamlin?
Yeah.
Hamlin is startled.
Because he was doing a hunt on it. He wants to hunt it. This is like a trophy prize for him.
Yeah, but he's definitely seems like he's kind of frozen, still up near he doesn't move back with you. He's really kind of like startled, and his taloned hands are like gripping his walking stick.
Oh.
Okay, we can't do a murder. They're very special and unique. They're not a bad guy. Sometimes people look at you and you have a bandit face and they think you're a bandit, but really you're not a bandit. And that's like this guy here. He's not a bad guy. It's not his fault. And we can't do a murder on a not a bad guy.
That's fine. I just want to get rid of the thing. The thing in the middle is controlling him.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
I said the great rhythm speaks in many ways, and if the rhythm has been disrupted among this creature, as you say, I have not seen it up close, but I believe you. I think we should try to break it free of whatever control it has that has taken over it. I fear it's more mixed up than feathers in a whirlwind right now, and we must clarify its thinking.
There is a sound. There is a sound like wind high speed through leaves or something as a shadow comes down straight down towards where Squeak is.
A great googly moogly.
And it's attempting to basically skewer you on its
I will dive in front of the way. For young
Squeak also, as soon as they see the thing coming, also releases that dispel magic.
Okay, so everyone roll initiative.
rolling.
Sorry, Palm and Squeak and I'll roll initiative because they are the ones that have actions declared.
I have rolled a dirty 20.
Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome, Kalia. We're playing Humblewood, which is an adorable add-on to D&D 5e. We are a chicken, a pangolin, a mouse, and a raccoon.
Squeak, what'd you get?
I got a 13.
All right, and Palm?
20.
All right.
Not natural.
I'll allow Palm to get in the way of the attack, so you get in the way, and then Squeak, you let go with the dispel magic. So give me another one of those charisma saves or rolls. Pardon me.
That was a 19 plus 4 is 23.
There is a ear-piercing, shattering noise as something breaks between the antlers, and just as it's about to gore you, it pulls up and goes out of view somewhere out of view over the tree line. You can hear your own heartbeats as you're waiting to see what happens next, and then the shadow comes across you again, but instead it goes past you and lands in the clearing ahead. Still right in front of Hamlin.
I run over to make sure Hamlin doesn't attack it.
Hamlin, don't move.
Hamlin, don't.
Please don't kill our friend.
Hamlin has pulled out a longsword, but
no.
Hamlin, no.
As he saw it dive towards, because he was far enough away that he could see it coming, diving towards Squeak, and he's turned towards it, but he's still standing in the exact same spot.
I'm smacking the sword out of Hamlin's hand. No.
You spend your life looking for something, and then you find it. And if you're lucky, it's almost as good as you expect.
This is even better, though. It didn't kill us.
Yes, I could never kill this creature.
I almost became a snack.
That you did.
The creature's landed, and it's preening a little bit. And what languages does everybody speak?
Oh, Mopok and Bird.
I picked because with the knowledge thing, I got two other languages.
Mm-hmm.
But then I forgot the bird languages that I wanted to speak. Where did I write that?
Bird folk all speak the same.
Well, yeah, no, but wasn't there like other languages? No.
All the humble folk have their own, and Sylvan is still a thing.
Okay. I think I picked Sylvan, and then what was the other one? Hang on, I closed my D&D Beyond sheet.
If it starts speaking a language I don't understand, I'm gonna cast comprehend languages on myself.
And
but
I also have the Helm of Comprehending, so I could do it.
Oh, nice.
Understand.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly waddle up to him and
So you're wearing a little helmet. You got no clothing on, but you're wearing this little helmet.
No pants, helmet.
I love it.
And a belt.
so cute.
I did Sylvan and Celestial are the two languages. But that's D&D Beyond. I didn't know if there was.
Yeah, Celestial and Sylvan are still.
Okay.
Just don't pick dwarf. You're not going to run into a lot of those.
Well, yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I picked the fancy ones.
So, Hamlin starts walking towards it. He's left his sword slapped on the ground.
Good.
And it makes a sound. It makes a sound that you recognize as Sylvan. And so Palm, you hear it first, and it says, kind of in a broken kind of speech. It says, I have bound across these woods a long time, but then Kren cursed me.
Kren? Ah, Kren. Yes.
Oh, Kren, that guy.
Yeah, Kren, not so great.
Oh, well, that sounds really bad. Hey, you can't understand me. I can understand you though.
They say that they were cursed by Kren. They have lived in this woods a long time. I say a long time.
So Palm, you would know that Kren is like the trickster Amaranthine.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, yeah, the
it's like an eye, the cool eye with the jaw.
That guy.
Yeah, Vulpin. The Vulpins are known to have cults of Kren. Kren is all about. Kren is all about the. Why is this word escaping me? You've got the hunter and the hunted. The ones that are the hunters are also known as predators. That's the word I'm looking for. Kren is like the Amaranthine of predators. And you start to think that maybe Kren cursed this creature to go against its nature just to see if it would.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know how long it's been like this. This very friendly, warm spring glen is like got bones littered all over it, presumably from numerous incidents. But now Hamlin's got his hand out and he's put his hand on the snoot for a mild boop.
Good Snoop.
A gentle booping.
Well, I'm glad I could uncurse you. That was really lucky. Man, I'm really lucky sometimes.
You know what? You are quite lucky. I
was
have
great.
noticed.
A lot of luck in a very small package.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm about five pounds of luck in about a one pound magic bucket.
Is that how you cast your spells, with a magic bucket? I didn't know.
And Sylvan, I ask, do you have a name, my friend? My most majestic friend.
No one has seen fit to give me one.
They say they do not
Call
have
him
a
Steve.
Steve is not a name you'd give someone like this, I don't think.
So a light spring rain starts to fall down, and the creature's wings kind of come up to kind of cover you as you speak.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Is that my name?
Yes.
And then it tries to, in common, say, Steve.
Hey, that's great. You did a great job.
Did that big magical mystical creature just say Steve?
Yes, it did. He knows his name.
It turns to Palm and says, "Is this a noble name amongst your people?" In Sylvan.
Well, I mean, perhaps if we add an N, an EN at the end of it, it will sound a bit more noble.
Steve E.N.
Steve N. Steve N.
Steve N.
Doesn't have the same ring. You should go by Steve.
I mean, we could call you Steve for short.
It's like tilting its head at all of you in different directions.
My young Gerbine friend here is I think it is a fine and noble name for one of your stature.
at this point, you've kind of lost track of Lenny, and then you see that he's climbed up onto the back of this thing.
Dear God, boy, what are you doing?
Letty, get up, Steven.
Lenny, that's rude. He's people.
I say that boy is. I say that boy is smarter than, is dumber than a bag of hammers.
I know that was for me, Dusty, and I appreciate that. Lenny's like, this is our ride back.
Did you ask? Did you ask first? Would you like it if someone just
start climbing on people?
like Spindle is like, would you like it if I climbed on your back and I didn't ask?
Lenny, consent is key. Yeah.
Lenny says, Steve, is this cool? Tell him I said that.
Oh, great, Steve. Majestic Steve. Steve Ann. Steve Ann of the Forest. We are a long way from home.
And the air, it says to you.
And the air. Steve Ann of the air and forest. Would you be so kind? I'm afraid my poor young, impetuous young squire here has climbed upon you, but we were wondering if you might consent to give us a ride back to Aya's Watch. I believe that was the name. I don't remember.
Raya's Watch.
Reyes,
Very
Aya's,
close.
I was close.
And then Hamlin steps forward and in Sylvan says, I've got some assholes I'd like to do a flyover of.
Yeah, now I read this story once. It was a story that quite never came to an end, but in it, a young boy got not revenge, but put people in their place. Now, if you would just go like this as we fly over Raya's Watch, I feel like you would get the closure that you are so seeking.
You're saying this to Hamlin?
Yes.
Didn't you say that story didn't have an end? How is there a closure?
Well, it's sort of a continual loop, as it were. It was the story.
Close the loop.
Lenny is already pulling Hamlin up, and he says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll raise more than a fist."
Nice.
That sounds ominous.
The creature looks at Palm and says, I, Steve Ann of the forest and the sky, will escort you home.
It is a pleasure. Yeehaw!
Did you say yes?
Steven, do you like nuts?
Oh god.
Are you speaking about walnuts?
Yes, walnuts. Have you heard of the walnut?
I love walnuts.
Steve loves nuts too. This is great.
Steve's nuts. And he... As everyone climbs on the back of this thing, you can feel it rumble like a takeoff as the foot slaps against the ground, and then it bounds up into the air, and you're all flattened against its back, and then it nosedives back towards the ground, and then again, and you leap over the Humblewood, and with every jump, a little bit of your stomach leaps into your throat, and then sinks back to the bottom. It's kind of that jet they train astronauts on. That's you guys.
Yeah.
Like moments of
the vomit comet. The vomit comet. But as you bound, with every bound, you see Raya's watch get closer and closer. And as you get close, Hamlin whispers something to Steve N, and in a low swoop, it flies right past where a bunch of the hunters are sitting out on the porch, and you can't see the gesture, but Hamlin leans over with his hand out towards them as they go by. You land at the base of it, and Steve N lets you lowers his wings down so you can hop off.
Lennon, now this is experience.
Lenny experienced the vomit part of the comet, unfortunately.
I just roll off like, yeah.
I bounce off like nothing's wrong.
Steven takes a few steps back and he says, should you need my aid again, find where spring meets fall and whisper my name. Steve N. And then there's the into the afternoon sky. The end.
I see what you did there.
That was so fun.
That was so great.
That was awesome.
We made friends with a giant, majestic forest spirit.
So this thing exists in D&D, and I modified it because it's chaotic evil for some reason.
Oh, the Praeton or something like
Yeah,
that?
the Periton, yeah, I tweaked it.
I've always noticed that because it's very up my alley.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this thing.
Oh, really? Hang on.
It's
me neither.
It's a weird one.
It is. It looks kind of spooky, and it is like evil.
How does one spell its name?
Here, it's
Steven. Steven.
Capital N
It's Steve
dot.
with an N at the end.
It looks like this.
Except
I've seen that. Okay.
except my Loper's got bunny feet.
Bunny
Yeah,
feet.
Oh. Steve.
That makes me so happy.
I loved all the springtime radius around where Steve N was.
That was really good.
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
thought a little bit of the Feywild, like leaking through or something. Well, thank you very much for playing, guys.
Thank you for running this game.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm actually writing an adventure for the Humblewood stretch goal stuff, and this is a first kind of test run of my ideas for it. So you're
Oh,
kind of,
nice, cool.
I surreptitiously had you guys play test it for me a little bit. So
Success. You're welcome. We are excellent playtesters.
I apologize.
It was a fantastic game.
We should definitely keep the name we gave it.
well, I like the idea that the players get to name it at the end. So maybe it'll recommend. I've always liked Steve N. Let's see if they keep it. Well, happy unbirthday, Jess.
Happy unbirthday!
Happy unbirthday!
Thanks,
Happy
everyone.
birthday.
Thanks everyone for playing with me on Birbday.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Birbday.
I loved everyone's characters. It was all cute. So much fun.
You guys are adorable.
But I guess if we're done, let's go around and say our goodbyes and tell people where they can find you. You can say what your favorite moment was, and if you got any cool stuff you want to tell people about, and we'll go in reverse order this time. So Eris, do you want to go first?
Sure. I am Eris Savad. Today I played Little Mouse Bard and I was super happy about it. Normally you can find me on basically Twitter, screwing around all the time, but I make dice bags and trays. I hula hoop. I do a lot of RPG streams. So I guess, the best way to kind of keep up with everything I do is go to Twitter and follow me, Eris_Savad. Yay.
Yay. What was your favorite moment?
Oh, yes. Peabody. 100%. Just everything about Peabody was just so wonderful. I loved him.
You really kicked up a notch when I realized that they were wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
It
Super
got
funny to
even
me.
better.
No pants.
love
just a helmet
Peabody.
and a belt.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. There's like almost nothing on because they have like their own armor and stuff. But they have a belt and a helmet.
And the voice that you had,
Oh,
Meg,
it's super
was
cute.
just
I love
so
those.
cute. I absolutely loved Peabody.
Yay.
I love it. Amazing. Dustin.
Oh, hi. My name's Dusty at GeoNerd on Twitter. You can find me often here on this channel in which I play games with Jess or I stream things with Jess. On August 16th, I will be running a Ryutama one-shot. which has the coolest name that Jess can't help me come up with. It's the Necoclopolis.
Nico.
So, because there's Neko.
Because it might be cat.
Nico goblins, cat goblin. But yeah, I sometimes stream one shots here on the channel, and I will be doing that on August 16th. Otherwise, follow me on Twitter at GeoNerd, where sometimes I say things.
Yay!
Hey.
Whoop. Meg.
Hi. I played a little pangolin, and it was great. I'm Wide-Eyed Wilding on Twitter, and I don't really have much to promote. I just kind of hang out with everybody that's super cool, like these guys. So you should follow all of them and watch their streams, and it's great. And that's it.
I forgot to say what my favorite thing was.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was thanks for rolling with my nut thing. I just enjoyed. There was a lot of it that I just liked, and I enjoyed very much. But just being able to riff off with all of you guys about nuts was pretty cool.
Did you have the nut thing prepared, or did you just?
No, none of this was prepared. The two concepts I had was knowledge cleric talks like foghorn leghorn. Everything that came out of my mouth was completely random.
It's all you need.
I wrote a little story and I didn't end up using it.
Oh.
It was a really bad story, but
Aw.
go on.
I'm sure it was
Super
great.
prepared.
I wrote it during pre-stream.
That's awesome, though.
Is it long? Can we hear it now?
Well, Alderheart, I met a Luma who could swoop down from the sky and pluck an apple off the tree so fast you didn't even hear the twig snap before she was already back where she started off.
Wow. That's fast.
I like that.
I love it, and it makes sense for your little bard.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah, the College of the Road is really cool.
The College of the Road is super cute. For anyone that hasn't checked out the Humblewood stuff yet, go check it out because it's all
It's
super
like-
cute.
It's like sneaky multi-classing.
Yeah.
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 Multi-classing, yeah.
I absolutely loved the tricks. The tricks were fantastic.
Yeah, my favorite
on,
one is the
sorry.
one you can, you basically meet a warlock, and then the warlock makes a mini pact with you, and you get a little mini warlock ability, but every time you use it, you take damage from the warlock kind of zapping you. But you get to use like a warlock, what are they called? Invocation. You get an
Yeah.
invocation, yeah.
Wicked cool.
Meg, did you get to say a favorite moment?
Oh, I really loved all the whole spring, all that sort of radius of the beautiful saturated colors and all that, and the nuts, of course. Yes, the nuts.
Amazing.
It
Jordan?
was great.
I'm Jordan. You can find me at Made of Cartoons. You'll also find me at Gen Con next week at booth 2961 in Entrepreneur Alley or something like that. It's the beginner zone before you're allowed into the big show, although it's all in the same room. I'll be there with, of course, Deck of Many. We'll have all of our animated spells, but also you can see a bunch of prototypes, including in the book for Humblewood. Even a bunch of minis. We got a bunch of minis printed.
Oh, yeah.
So we're very excited. But if you
I'll
can't
need
go,
to stop
I'll take
by.
pictures. I'll take pictures. And my favorite moment. It's tough to pick as Dungeon Master because it's like picking your favorite kid in a lot of ways. But I liked everyone being cranky. I don't know if that is just because of my I like how you guys blamed them for getting cranky because you were making a bunch of noise where they were all sleeping. That is so classic player bullshit. Like, you're screaming in a room full of sleeping people, and then you get upset at them for being upset about it. And
Well, the story is obviously not about them.
We were trying to let them know that their shit was getting stolen. I mean,
yeah,
We're trying to make a pigeon count leaves.
I get it. There's
Calm yourself.
justifications at the wazoo. It's my favorite part. It gets me every time I play a game. So that's me.
Cool beans. Hi, I'm Jess. My favorite stuff was everything, but also the first time Palm did the thing with the nuts and just like did the chicken maneuver of smashing it with his face was so good. And then when Squeak made the Luma count the leaves, I thought that was so smart. Like such a smart way
so much
to use suggestion, because like suggestion can be a little bit finicky sometimes. So that was
that was really good.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the best uses I've ever seen it. So
yeah, that was seriously so good.
I have to say, I stole that one from my husband. He had a giant count the scale in a forge. So as the giant picked up pieces of scale, it would like break into like 4 or 5 different pieces, and then he'd have to count all of those too.
Oh my god.
That's really pretty smart. I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna steal the uses like something like that, like recite the alphabet.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Gotta get something that keeps going for at least 8 hours.
To infinity.
And then my other favorite thing is that we made friends with the creature, and we didn't fight or murder it, because there's so many situations in which in D&D people will like auto fight or murder things, but I was like, please don't make us murder this magnificent creature. I love it so much. I was gonna honestly have Spindle, like, before Squeak, like, dispelled the magic, I was gonna have Spindle just, like, run, jump up its back, and dive through the antlers to try and pull the thing out. Like, I was like, whatever it takes to save our new friend. Like...
Peabody coming in clutch with the elevated sight gave you enough information that, I feel like maybe you wouldn't have snuck up if you didn't know. So, good job.
Yeah, the elevated sight really, really helped for this.
The Humblewood spells are really cool too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they're really
the one I got to
freaking
use,
awesome.
the Amaranthine one, is like super cool because it's sort of like divination, but you can pick like what you have to pick the skill, but super cool.
Yeah, that's so good. So yeah, that was all awesome. This was a ton of fun. I'm so glad we all got to play together. I loved everything. My name's Jess, this is my channel. If you're here and this is your first time here, please follow. If you're watching on YouTube, because we're uploading videos there now, like and subscribe and comment, and then come over to Twitch and play games with us and hang out, because it's lots of fun and we like to welcome people here, so please do it. I have a Patreon where you can support me. I made a game this one time you can play if you want.
I played that game today. It was really good again.
Yeah. And just thanks for being here. This is a ton of fun. I love playing games with people, love doing stuff with people. Thank you all for playing. I'm so glad we all got to play together. And
Thank you too.
This was such a great group and a fun story, and I had so much fun, and y'all are awesome, and I hurt your faces, and I hope everyone has a good night, and we will see you around later. So thanks for hanging out. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Yes, I said goodbye, dog.
Bye, dog.